Greetings, everybody. It is me, Keiran of One Up Commentaries, and go on.
I'm the guy that they won't leave
because we have you trapped in the basement.
Of course.
Yeah, we are here to do PrE3. So that this is our predictions for E3 and everything that's coming up. But today we have a very special guest. Why don't you introduce yourself, my good man?
Greetings and salutations. My name is Robert Whitfield. I am an American and mostly just here for the sake of talking about Nintendo stuff, but I am also a Mega Man nerd, so if you happen to like that, I will be working on a retrospective soon.
So
Which
he's
I'm looking
A-OK
forward
in our
to.
book.
I just like how the way you introduce yourself, one of the first things you say is, I'm Robert Whitfield, I'm American. That's all you needed to say. Okie doke.
Hello there, I'm Robert Whitfield,
pretty much.
and I'm an American.
So, you're an American. No,
Yep,
alright.
I'm bored.
And I am the Tom.
Okie doke. I have a list of notes of conferences and times for the UK, so whenever you guys hear whatever we say, so like I'll say 7 PM for the UK, you guys are going to just have to convert that into Google, because Google is your friend. Alright, so, shall we begin, gents?
I
Sounds
guess
good.
so.
Okie doke. Let's begin with EA, which the conference will be going up around, start at June 9th, 7 PM for the UK. My first notes here, I just want to bring this up to you. I'm probably going to do this a lot. My notes are sports, Anthem, Battlefield 5, and microtransactions. So, do you guys have any opinions on what's going to happen for EA, or?
I mean, like say, sports games, which I have no interest in whatsoever, because sports games just don't interest me at all, because they're boring. I don't like sports, period, so there you go. But
I'm pretty much in the same boat.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's not so much I hate sports, it's just when
The
you've got
games
when you've got the kind of PE memories I have, it's yeah.
Yeah, it's just like doing every kind of sports game. They all kind of become all samey and the same, and like there's nothing really original that's happening. Like
Yeah,
the
it's like if I wanted to go outside and
especially-
play football, I'd go outside and play football, you know?
soccer.
Yeah.
We have an
And
American.
especially with EA games.
Okay, I apologize.
So.
Soccer.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
No, but there's one game I did note down. Anthem. We was shown this from EA last year. It was a
I am
big
actually
open
interested in
world
this game.
like
Yeah.
mech thing where like different mechs do different things. Like that actually
Got
looked
like a-
interesting.
It's got like a whole jetpack sort of theme to it, hasn't it? Like
Yeah,
ride around on the jetpack.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
It did look really cool. It was, I believe it's Xbox exclusive, so
That was when I sort of said to myself, I should get an Xbox One now.
yeah.
And I
There's
did,
still
so, yeah.
for me. There's still only one thing that's I will ever get the Xbox for, and that is the Rare Replay. But if Anthem
It's the
is
same thing for me.
but if Anthem is Xbox exclusive, maybe I might get one someday. You never know. But I'm guessing we're going to see more on Anthem, maybe for EA or maybe for the Microsoft conference. We don't know. I've noted down a few things multiple times because each company, like Square Enix, they have a conference thing happening. But I've also noted some of my notes down for Sony because sometimes Square Enix shows their stuff at Sony because you never know when things are going to show up.
Because like Kingdom Hearts, that's mostly PlayStation, I
Yeah.
guess. I mean, you've got like DS stuff and mobile shit, but mostly PlayStation.
Yeah, but
I think it's also going to be on the Xbox One,
it is from what
Okay.
I heard.
but mostly Sony.
I didn't know that, so there you go.
Yeah, but we did
Yeah.
see gameplay to do with Anthem last year, so it's we haven't really heard much since. I haven't personally, but I'm guessing.
It does look really cool. I love the whole jetpack, flying around jetpack open
Yeah.
world idea it has going for it. Yeah.
The world also
I'll
seemed
definitely give it a shot when it comes
yeah,
out.
the world definitely seemed big and immersive as well.
Yeah.
The only other thing I have listed here is Battlefield 5, the thing that they announced with a picture. So there's no real surprise coming, but it's a Battlefield game, I guess. I'm not into first-person shooters other than like Doom or something, but
I mean,
Yeah, in my case, Metroid Prime and Portal are all I'm really into.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I like first-person shooters to an extent, but it's weird, because I'm one of the few people who plays a first-person shooter for the single-player sort of campaign, you know?
Yeah.
It's why I love
Yeah.
games like Half-Life 2 so much, because it had such a great single-player campaign.
Well, I'm still not privy to Half-Life. I'm only privy to what you showed us in the Let's Play, and I'm still waiting for it to grip me.
Just me, Half-Life 2 is a lot better, or at least I thought it was.
Yeah.
It's great. I thought it was great.
I will believe you.
But yeah, next to that, but I did get Battlefield 1 a couple of years back as a Christmas present, and I've really got to properly sit down and play it. I've only played it like a handful of times, and it was good when I played. It's just getting into it, you know.
It's a first-person shooter. There's a lot to. That's kind of the build-ups are kind of always the same at times.
Yeah, it's just like what I mean. Obviously, I asked for it because it grew me because it just did something new rather than just being this futuristic first-person shooter thing. It went back to this World War One kind of saying, which worked, you know.
Yeah, and the reason why I like Doom is because it does so many things differently.
Yeah, exactly. It's not just your typical, the online, just bland as shit, like 12-year-olds telling me they fucked my mother, you know.
Yeah.
That's about it. Unless they show something brand new, or they show, God forbid, another Star Wars Battlefront. I don't know.
That I was actually going to bring up about that. I don't think they're going to announce Battlefront 3 yet, but
I doubt
reckon
it, especially after the shit they went through.
Yeah,
with all
apparently
the...
Disney are considering taking the game license for Battlefront away from EA, so if that happens,
Yeah.
I mean, if they do announce anything, it'll be either probably more DLC for Battlefront 2, but I'm just not that interested in Battlefront 2.
Yeah. I mean,
like, the thing about Battlefront 2 is that it has such a bad reputation due to all the microtransactions and the loot boxes, so
exactly, and it's a shame
few people really seem to have any interest in it at this point.
Exactly, and it's
beyond the player base that it currently has.
No, exactly, and it's a shame because I was actually kind of looking forward to the game. I thought to myself, okay, they might have learned from their mistakes here. There's more going on. There's a single player campaign.
Yeah, which one thing everybody was like, John Boyega, the guy who plays Finn in Star Wars, when he found out in Battlefront 1, he was like, there's no story, what the hell, come on EA. So they made my brother Chris, he actually bought Battlefront 2, and I was like, why did you do that to yourself? And then,
I remember him saying he actually enjoyed it when I was round past that one time.
Yeah, he said he did enjoy it, and granted, I have played a bit of it. I played some of the story, which, not gonna lie, it is fun. It fundamentally plays really well, but unfortunately it's cursed by the microtransaction thing. So
I mean, apparently EA have sort of fixed it, but it's
still there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's again another dud.
The bad taste is still left in your mouth.
Yeah. And I don't want to say I completely don't trust them. It's kind of feels that way. Like, I don't trust them that much anymore. It's like with Konami. All my faith is gone from there. But
yeah, it's just just what they do.
Sadly.
And just again, it's like I don't necessarily mind microtransactions in video games because I play Team Fortress 2, Keiran, and I put my fair share of money into microtransactions. I don't necessarily mind it, but when it's an actual excuse just so you can play better, not by actual skill, but just because of what kind of items you get.
Play to win, or pay to win.
Pay to win, exactly. That doesn't help improve your skills whatsoever. It just gives you an advantage rather than you actually have learned from your mistakes and got better at your skills,
Yeah, I heard...
like, if microtransactions are purely cosmetic, that's fine, but when you're, like, locking actual content that can just make you automatically better at the game, that's really, really cruel.
Yeah, I agree with that, absolutely. If it's just cosmetics, if it's just hats or skins
a costume,
I've got no problem with that whatsoever, because it makes your character more unique. But, again...
Exactly.
If it's used as just solely said... oh, hey, we noticed you're having trouble here. If you buy this, you can be better at the game. Not by skill, but because it's a better weapon or whatever.
$10 a save state.
Oh, fuck that.
I
Chester,
like
if
how
you're
you put
listening to
that the
this,
same
I can't
thing.
believe you pre-ordered that game.
Yeah, Chester. Robert, tell Chester how dare he.
Chester, why?
There you go.
There are so many better games.
Thank you. He's gonna love that. But yeah, but it's kind of like I heard Assassin's Creed Origins had the same issue. Like I think I haven't played it, but I watched Cadicarus's review on it about how it's a fun game, but there's unfortunately a pay-to-win element, which like weapons and stuff. Yeah, Assassin's Creed Origins, the one in Egypt.
How the fuck does that work?
Yeah, but I'm not sure if they've changed anything. But honestly, I'm sick of Assassin's Creed at this point.
I mean, I do want to get into the series. I've got the first 2 to play, but again,
play until Desmond's story ends.
Yeah.
Desmond is you'll figure it out. But
it's like I played a bit of 1, and honestly, I wasn't that gripped by it. But I want to give it another go.
the only reason I got into the series is because in Metal Gear Solid 4, one of the costumes you get is Altair from 1.
That is pretty cool.
What would you recommend as a starting point? Because I've sampled one of the more recent ones, and it didn't really grip me at all.
Well, I'd start from 1, go to 2. It's really weird because it goes like to a 2.5, or 2.3, 2.5, then 3. It's really annoying. But it's like, play 1, play Assassin's Creed 2, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, Assassin's Creed Revelations. I think that's how it goes.
Yeah.
And then play 3, and then Black Flag, and then don't touch the series ever again.
I mean,
Oh,
and they
dang.
recently re-released, remastered.
They remastered Rogue,
And it came out,
which
like,
came out
3
like
years-
yesterday.
Yeah, exactly, and it's just, oh god. But yeah.
Well, to be fair, they don't want any eyes floating in random skulls anymore, do they?
But I suppose we should talk more about
What,
this.
you don't like Nightmare Fuel?
But I suppose we should talk
Yeah.
more about this once we get to the Ubisoft segment, because we're kind of drifting
Yeah,
away
we
from
will.
EA.
Just trashing them at the moment,
Yeah.
But moving on,
What else
we
is
have the
there?
Microsoft.
Yeah.
Well, that's about it for EA, really.
Yeah.
Moving on, we do have Microsoft, the conference that will be taking place on June 10th, 9 PM of the UK.
Not gonna
Talking
lie,
about
ever since I got an Xbox One, I'm more interested to see what Microsoft have to offer, you know?
yeah, like again, they need to have more exclusives. Like everybody makes the joke of, "I love this Xbox exclusive," and then it's just a black screen and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
Scalebound looks great.
yeah. But for my notes here, speaking of first-person shooters, Black Ops 4, everyone was talking about that. I imagine Black Ops 4 is going to show up there. I don't care. I don't.
I don't care at all.
Like, the only Call of Duty games I ever cared about was Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare 1. So if I'm ever gonna get a Call of Duty game that's recent, it'll be the remaster of 4 because I love that game.
That's the same with me. The only sort of Call of Duty games I'm interested in are the Modern Warfare series. Besides, next to that, I couldn't care.
Black Ops 1, however, I do really like. Those are the only two like Call of Duty games I'm ever gonna pay attention
Black
to.
Ops 1 as well, because zombies. I like zombies, but yeah.
Well, one reason alone I don't like Black Ops 4 is because they've butchered how the fucking Roman numerals work.
Yeah.
Like, no, it should be 1V, you morons, not 4 fucking ones.
Yeah,
Duh.
it's stupid. I guess because they don't want it to look old. They want it to look futuristic, you know, and just
And
Yeah,
dumb.
but that's inaccurate though, so why just go with the thing that actually works?
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you're going with
I'm
Roman
not
numerals,
saying it looks good.
fix
It looks shit, but yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll have its fans. The 12-year-olds are going to beg their parents to buy them this game, and they're going to like, didn't I just buy you a Call of Duty game like a month ago that came out? Oh yeah, but this is the new one. And they're going to ask again when the next one will get announced, probably in about a week's time from now.
Well, that's
Yep.
more going into the Ubisoft releasing fucking Assassin's Creed every month.
Yeah.
Or Scott Cawthon and Five Nights at Freddy's.
I mean, he's
but-
stopped for that now anyway, so it's not.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
he's loaded enough. He doesn't need any
No,
more money.
he's done.
But
Remember when FNAF
in
was
m-
relevant?
yeah. Also in my notes is probably a racing game and one minor exclusive.
I mean, the only racing game I care about is, Kieran, you'll agree with me on this, is the one from Sonic. Next to that, couldn't care less.
Well, Mario Kart 8's also.
Well,
good
actually, yeah,
racing, but
if they
that's
announce something
Nintendo.
for Mario Kart, I'm
Yeah.
interested in that, but when it comes to that, those are the only sort of racing games I play. Like, I genuinely don't have much interest in the likes of Forza or...
Yeah, like realistic ones, it's not my thing.
No.
Like, the only kind of realistic one I ever really played was Destruction Derby.
Yeah.
2 on the PS1. That game was fucking great. I have one very clear-cut memory. There's a different mode where you have to basically destroy other cars, and there's this one that's literally, you know how people go to destruction derbies and they see is a big circle. Well, that was one of the stages, and all of the cars were in the circle. I just hit accelerate, and so did all of the computer players. We all met in the middle, and I shot up into the air like super high, and then I exploded when I landed. So that's funny.
No, yeah, you can have good memories with them, but like I said, I prefer the more cartoony style of those racing games, like Crash Team Racing and Sonic and Sega All-Stars. It's just more fun to me, It makes the game more memorable.
Yeah. More charming as well.
Exactly,
Because when it's realistic, you don't really get much. It's just like, hey, it's a car and it's being driven.
Exactly, and plus there's more sort of detail that's added to. Oh, you got to customize your car more, and it takes ages just to do that. And by the time you've done
Look
it, you
at
don't.
the rims.
Yeah, exactly. Whilst with Mario Kart, you just choose the wheels, choose the motor, choose the glider, I guess, and then you're done. That's it.
Yeah,
that's
like you still have parts to unlock, but they're all basically as part of the same formula, so it's really simple to get into.
Yeah. It's just
But
I couldn't care much about racing games outside of the cartoony sort of ones. But okay, there's something I forgot to mention about like Black Ops 4 as well. I reckon the only reason they've sort of made it relevant is just so they can have a battle royale mode because Fortnite's doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't even get me fucking started, man. Yeah. Like, the only cool thing Fortnite has ever done is put fucking Thanos in there.
I mean, admittedly, I do want to give the game a try, but like, it's just, it's kind of a craze sort of thing. By the time I play it, it probably won't be cool anymore.
Well, it's not cool already.
Well, I mean, it just won't be as played as much as it was,
Yeah, I get you completely. And the only other note I really have is one minor exclusive, because unless Xbox start pulling out more exclusives, they're not going to have really much of anything, because all the exclusives that they did have with the older series, like in 360, they had plenty of exclusives, and including like the original Xbox, loads of exclusives. But now it's really bare bones, and there's like one rare game that ever comes out, and like Cuphead, I can still get that on Steam.
A good chunk of Xbox games you could buy on Steam, so it saves you the trouble of even having to buy an Xbox One. But again, some games are still exclusives, so I think, admittedly, I would be interested if they'd announce something new for Halo.
Maybe. Well, didn't they kind of, like, everyone say they ruined the series with 5?
Maybe, I think people liked 5, but yeah.
They could probably find some way to make an online version or something like that, so it's more like a co-op game or something.
Kind of like
Maybe
Way
it's a
Out.
spin-off. Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that working. I think the only other big thing that Microsoft have done with the Xbox is, other than the Xbox One S in 4K stuff, is having backwards compatibility with all the older games, which granted is fucking awesome.
Yeah, exactly. There's one thing that Xbox definitely do better than PlayStation. It's their backwards compatibility.
Please give me like backwards compatibility on my fucking PS4. Like, please, I don't want to use PlayStation now.
No, that's why I bought another PS3 after my other one broke, because the only other way to play them on PS4 is through fucking PS Now, and I don't want to have to subscribe to a service to do it.
I don't. Yeah, it's so.
But so that's why I like it more, especially considering you can play fucking original Xbox games on there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, but other than that, unless they're pulling out exclusives and stuff, I don't really see much happening. Unless they do Metal Gear Survive 2, I'm not really... well, I'm not going to care otherwise. I'm just going to cringe even further.
You're not going to care even if it does happen. I mean, it probably won't. Like, Metal Gear is pretty much
I
dead.
doubt.
There's only
I doubt they'll actually make a Survive 2, considering how poorly Survive 1 did, so...
Yeah. Like, there's only one thing that I would ever buy from Konami. Like, I don't want to ever give Konami my money ever again. But if I'm going to give them anything, if they do ever decide, hey, let's do that Metal Gear Solid 3 remake, yes, you are getting my money. But that's never going to
that'd be
happen because
nice.
the series is dead.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly,
Especially
Metal
if
Gear
they
Solid
use the
3
same
still
kind of-
looks great,
yeah.
so I think it's good for a
Oh,
while.
yeah.
And you have the HD version for like PS3, so that
Yeah.
probably wouldn't be for a while.
But if you
Ever.
look at the graphics on the pachinko machines that they have for Metal Gear
It
Solid,
depresses
over
me
in Japan,
so
though,
fucking much because
it
looks
does, but it
beautiful.
looks so good.
It looks
Remember all those great
amazing.
franchises? Remember all those great franchises we made? How about we make them pachinko games?
But no,
Yeah,
the
and that's
the
really
worst,
depressing.
the dirtiest thing, the worst thing that Konami did, like other than the whole Metal Gear Survive thing, was they cancelled Silent Hills, which everyone was hyped for, but
Yes.
not too long after that, they announced the Silent Hill pachinko game. What the fuck? No.
And the
And they
pachinko
wonder-
market's
they were
declining
like,
too,
why
from
do
what I'm
people hate
told.
us?
So
Yeah,
it's weird.
very weird.
Yeah, like they did that with a lot of other series as well, like Castlevania, for example. Like everyone remembers the erotic
Sexual
violence
violence.
trailer.
Oh yeah, fucking.
Which is
erotic
totally what that
violence.
series was about.
No,
It definitely wasn't gothic horror.
no. But there's a Castlevania-y type game that I'm gonna bring up for Sony later on. Like if they show off Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, hell yeah, because that game I am actually very excited for. It's
I
like
just
same
have
here.
not much hope in the way of Castlevania, but yeah.
well, it's not really
so
Castlevania.
good.
It's more of a yeah, it's a Castlevania kind of a successor, and it's got Robert Belgrade who played Alucard in Symphony of the Night. He's going to be doing work for it, which
What's it called?
hell yeah, Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. It's a new
And-
Metroidvania based on like Castlevania, and it's got Robert Belgrade, who was the voice of Alucard in Symphony of the Night.
Okay. Is it being made by Konami?
No,
No.
it's the people who made Metroidvanias, but it's not Konami.
Yeah,
thank God.
okay. Well, that's
yeah, it's Igarashi.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
That's good.
but unless Microsoft pull off something incredible, I don't really think they're gonna win this year.
No.
Nah.
I mean, I'll still watch them because, you never know. I do like Microsoft. I mean, I bought an Xbox One, so clearly I do like them.
Yeah.
But, yeah, again, they're probably the one I'm the least interested in. But, I'll see what else they could really sort of...
Pull out the bag. I mean, what else really have they got that could interest me? I mean, things to talk about that they could announce for E3.
Yeah, like Sly 5.
Like-
That'd be cool.
Oh,
yeah,
I'd love
well, I mean,
that.
that's more PlayStation, that, isn't it?
I know, but it
That's true. Yeah.
gives them something.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like
Actually, come to think of it,
go on.
wasn't there like a plan for a second Doom game or something?
I was going to
That'd be
get into that for Bethesda, which is actually next on my list. But if they showed it off at Xbox, maybe. But I don't think so, because if it was to show off a brand new Doom game, I think it would be at the Bethesda conference instead of the Microsoft one. Because thinking back, when Metal Gear 5 was announced and whatnot, Phantom Pain, like we all knew it was a thing, but it wasn't shown off at Sony or anything the next year. It was shown off at the Microsoft one, and like I didn't watch Microsoft because I've never been interested in it, so I missed the stuff, but I caught it on the way back. But other than that, I think if they announced Doom 2, well Doom 5 technically, if they show that off at the Bethesda conference this year, I think next year, if it hasn't come out by then, we might see it at either Xbox or another Bethesda conference.
Yeah, no, I reckon it would be sort of around then. Like, Bethesda have their own conference, like, say, if it's going to be in any sort of conference, it would be for that, because,
Yeah.
I mean, ID don't exactly have their own sort of segment for E3, so...
No.
Or id,
but
I should say, ID.
Yeah. But speaking of Bethesda, let's move on to there. Bethesda have a conference June 11th or at 2 a.m. for the UK, so if you're going to stay up, have fun.
This is one I actually have something to say about. Elder
Yeah.
Scrolls 6. Please, already, for the love of God, give me Elder Scrolls 6.
Actually, in my notes, I have 3 things written down. Rage 2, because that was recently announced. Doom, please, spelt PLS, and Skyrim again.
What else can they release Skyrim on?
A
Oh
rock.
Christ, I bet they'll do mobile phones. Oh my
Hang
God.
on now.
Oh God.
I
You
can't
know-
play it on my blender yet.
Well, to be fair, if Doom can run on like that little fucking tiny screen that was on or little bar that was underneath laptop like stuff. You know the one I'm talking about. It's got that little tiny strip that was lit up. It's near the speakers of a laptop. It did something random, but someone put the Doom on there.
It worked.
It worked, and someone even put it on an ATM machine. Okay.
Right. I bet Todd's just looking through like, okay, what haven't I put Skyrim on?
What have I not done yet? Dude, you say that, but
give it time.
It
might happen. Dude, if it actually happens, I'm going to fucking cry with laughter.
Please, just give me Elder Scrolls 6.
Do you think we should make like a bet on like predictions? Like if we're right about something, we should just like the other person should get a punishment or something.
Okay, yeah.
No, just use a bingo card.
A bingo card.
Will they announce Skyrim?
Skyrim is the free space.
Jesus.
And it's all to do with Skyrim, like Skyrim on this or that.
It's just I like Skyrim.
Skyrim HD
No.
Remastered
I like Skyrim.
2.0.
But just give me something new already, for Christ's sake.
Alright, new water shaders.
I mean, I know there's Elder Scrolls Online, but I haven't played that yet, so...
Yeah. But enough about Skyrim. But yeah, it would be cool. Like, I haven't played the Elder Scrolls, like, series, so...
I
know
with
everyone...
either 4 or 5. But, I mean,
Yeah.
I love 4 to bits. I only played it about 2 years ago, but I loved it. It was amazing. And from what I played of 5, that's really good as well. I'm just so sick of Skyrim at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I did recently pick up Skyrim. I need to get just Oblivion and stuff now. But
Honestly, I'd say play Oblivion first, really.
yeah, I'll take your advice on that one. But
From what
speaking
I've
of,
played so far, the world environments, like the places you go, are a lot more vibrant than in Skyrim.
yeah, from what I saw when Dan was playing,
they're still nice in Skyrim, and the combat system is better in Skyrim. But Oblivion's got just a lovely sort of world to explore.
Yeah. But going back to Bethesda, Rage 2 was actually recently announced, and I believe that's id or ID. So I would imagine Bethesda would work with that. I'm not sure. But I put Rage 2 down, so I'm guessing we might see either Bethesda or the Sony or the PlayStation conference.
Why is it coming up as God Eater 2 when I type it into Google?
I don't know.
That's not right.
But I know, like, a few of my friends are quite happy to see Rage 2, and someone even messaged me saying it's the sequel I never knew I wanted. So it's another first-person shooter, but it's new.
Oh yeah, no, I do actually own Rage on PS3, so I should really play that again.
What exactly is Rage? Because I haven't even heard of the first one. When they announced the second, I'm like, okay.
I mean,
where did that come from?
I mean, it's made by the same people who make Doom, so yeah.
Yeah, so I'm
guessing there's going to be shooting and a lot of action. You know that for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, it's another first-person shooter. I think they're reviving a lot, and doing sequels to a lot of things because, like, first off we had Doom, then the next year we had Wolfenstein 2, and now this year we got Rage 2. So I imagine, like, they're gonna just show off more gameplay and stuff for Rage 2. But also I've got Doom, please, because the fucking Sam, the robot, or fucking Samuel Hayden in the in Doom 4, the end of that, he fucking sequel baiting Sam, like, he sends you back to hell at the end of the game with the fucking whatever the item was from hell. He just sends you back, but it's just like, okay, that's obvious there's a sequel coming, but we're just waiting for it. So I can imagine them announcing it along on the date, but I don't think we're going to get much from it. Just an announcement like, hey, it's happening, if the sequel baiting wasn't enough.
Yeah, no, I could see that happening, or at least something new for Doom. Like, I don't know. It's like, because this day, like, Doom 4, or just Doom 2016, is so cheap to buy. Like, I was in the shops the other day, and you can buy it for, like, a tenner these days, so...
Yeah, and my girlfriend actually bought, like, I had Doom already, I got it for Christmas, but we saw it in a trade-in shop, or store, for it was the collector's edition, the one that comes with the Revenant statue and the steelbook.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, my girlfriend bought that for me it was 30 quid. She just said, "Hey, I'm gonna get it, otherwise it's gonna go." Like, wait, no, what are you doing?
I think the Doom for Switch is probably more expensive than that.
Yeah, it's 48 pounds here. I don't know what it's like over in the States.
I mean,
Rob's gonna have to help us on that one.
Yeah, Robert. I mean, like, I don't know if you've played Doom, but like, it's on the Switch. I know that, but like, how much is it on there for like US dollars? If you know.
Off the top of my head, I do not. Let me double check real quick.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much that converts to for US dollars compared to pounds, so can't say for sure.
But like, all I know for Doom is like there was enough sequel baiting that we know it's gonna happen. It's just when are we gonna get it?
Yeah, when will it happen? That's the thing.
Yeah.
But I need to go back and play Doom 2016 again. You know.
Did you beat it?
I didn't. No, I started it and then I never got back to it.
I recommend you beat it. It's a great time. Well, I'm currently doing the live stream series with on Ultraviolence. God help me.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But that is fun too.
But did you come up with anything, Rob?
Yeah, it's $29.99 for most of the versions, so...
Oh, wow,
That's not bad,
That's not that bad.
It's pricey over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose when you round conversions to that, I suppose, yeah.
Yeah, conversions are weird.
Yeah, if it were up to me,
changing.
they'd all be the same. Like $38 would be £38, but I suppose the tender system probably wouldn't agree with it.
Yeah, but
yeah. Plus, the economy is constantly changing, so
yeah. But I think that's more or less it for Bethesda. Like last year, they didn't have a massive conference. They showed off a few VR titles like Doom V fucking R.
Yeah, I do want to play that as well.
Yeah, but that was about it.
I mean, if they announce anything for Wolfenstein, I mean, I doubt
they would because of 2 coming out so recent.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it'd be a while, but yeah. Next to that, I don't really think there's anything else. Oh, I mean, then again, I don't know if they'd really give anything for Fallout, because it's only been a couple of years since Fallout 4 came out. So unless they announce Fallout 4 for the Switch,
that's a possibility. So
maybe
we'll have to see it, I suppose.
Because they've done it for Doom, they've done it for Skyrim, so I wouldn't be surprised if they brought Fallout 4 for the Switch.
Yeah, either they do it here or they do it at the Nintendo conference. I suppose we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah. Or a remake of like the original Fallout games, you know, when it was that sort of overhead sort of city kind of thing.
Kind of like how GTA works.
Isometric.
Yeah, that sort of thing. Yeah. That's better. Isometric. That's what I meant.
Other than that, that's about it for Bethesda. So I suppose we should move on to Square Enix, which their conference is at June 11th, 7 PM UK time. Give me Final Fantasy VII Remake, you dickheads!
Oh, I felt so bad for you when you shared that post that the game is most likely not coming out until 2023.
Thing is, I'm not sure about that. The only thing I know is that they have started over, and it's just like, give me fucking something, you dickheads.
It's like why? What they had so far, at least what we saw, looked fine. I don't get why they've started again.
Like, unless there was like issues with people that were making it, or company issues or rivalries or something in the company, sure, but the foundation was there. You can go from it on that one, but it's kind of looking like the whole Metal Gear Rising thing, because it used to be Metal Gear. Before we had Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, we had Metal Gear Solid Rising, and it looked a whole lot different, and it was meant to be set in between Metal Gear Solid 2 and 4, which told you how Raiden became the way he is.
The cyborg,
the cyborg ninja. But then it got changed into the thing we know as today, which would end up being the furthest in the chronology of the Metal Gear Solid series, which is never going to tie up or anything.
Yeah.
But unless, like, fuck, man. When did we get that first initial trailer? Was it 2015 or something like that, or 2016?
I don't even know.
I can't remember.
Like 2013 or something like that. If it was,
Well,
Was
I
it
know the game was
2013?
in development the game was in development around 2013 and 2014. Then we get the trailer like 2015 or 2016.
Yeah. I
And
think it
now
was, yeah.
they've just dropped the fucking thing and starting again. Like, why?
I mean, again, we
I
didn't
was
see any-
crying
Torture
the
us.
fucking. I was crying the first time I fucking saw that trailer. Like, and the fucking
It
reaction
looks so
of
good.
the reaction of all the people, like, that were like, no, they didn't do it. Like, but they did. Then we got like I can't remember what it was. I think it was Square Enix's like own event thing, where we saw some gameplay, which we saw the boss, or the first boss, which attack while its tail is up, and we saw Cloud use Braver, one of the limit breaks, the first limit break, and it played very much like Final Fantasy 15. But at this point, I think I saw a really good like thing for it was Square Enix have just been focusing completely on Final Fantasy 15. Like, granted, I love 15, although the way they've gone about it has pissed me off, because as you guys might know, I've been doing a Final Fantasy 15 Royal Edition livestream. The only reason I was going to do that is because I knew for a fact that with all the DLC that was coming out for it, it was unfinished. I know because I've seen a whole bunch of differences playing Royal Edition, but when it's really difficult because I said, okay, let me wait till this definitive edition because then I know it will be done. Recently, Square Enix announced that fucking, I think it was PAX East, that we're gonna get more DLC for it. Like, what was the point in the fucking Royal Edition if it's not got everything in it?
Exactly, Square Enix.
Yeah,
the point
like,
of a
I want to
Royal
get
Edition.
15, but I also want to wait for it to be done.
It's just like, come
like Square-
on, guys.
It's like Square Enix. The point of a Royal Edition or a definitive edition is that is the version that has everything on it. You don't go and then release more DLC.
Like,
Yeah.
to be honest, like, Konami, I don't want to say they did it right, but they did with Metal Gear Solid 5, because everyone knows how Ground Zeroes was basically the tanker section of it, which gets you used to the new Fox engine, and then Phantom Pain was the plant section, like if we're going to compare it to Metal Gear Solid 2. But they put those together on the PS4 for a definitive edition. Like, yes, that is a definitive edition, it has everything in it, that's what I expect.
Exactly.
With
You don't
this-
expect to then they change it up again, so you have to give them more money.
Like, it's just, we're gonna get a fucking Monarch edition, like, or some shit. I don't fucking know, but
I mean, it's
Like,
going to
I
be a
love
while
15.
before I get to 15. So when I get
just
to
wait
there-
till it.
Yeah.
Like, I was gonna say wait till Royal Edition comes out, but if they release like a super duper like ultra HD remix deluxe
with extra
version
funky.
2, with extra Funky Kong, featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series, then we'll pick it up, because it is a great time. I'm not gonna lie, it's amazing, but they've gone about it a really crap way, and I feel like I'm gonna be on my deathbed by the time Final Fantasy VII Remake gets a fucking release date. But yeah, so that's all my salt for that. But
Yeah,
let's
I,
talk
honestly,
about.
for someone who
Oh, go on.
hasn't really played the Final Fantasy games, even I was pissed off at the fact that they were doing this.
Yeah,
Especially considering it's an episodic release that they're doing for
which I
7,
hate,
so-
by the way. Like, for me, my dream is, if it is still an episodic release, do it like episode 1 is disc 1, episode 2 is disc 2. Like, that's my dream. It's probably not going to be that way, but I'd want
I mean,
it
they'll
to
probably
be
do
that.
like what Telltale does, where like they'll release a version afterwards that has all the episodes on. But
If that's the case, then that's what I'll eventually get. But
yeah,
Yeah.
let's move on from that salt fest and let's talk about the elephant in the room, Kingdom Hearts 3, like the game that we're actually seeing a hell of a lot more of. And actually, I haven't actually watched the trailer, the recently released gameplay trailer or whatever, which showed off.
neither have I.
I know it definitely showed off. Wreck-It Ralph is definitely in the game, which is cool. We've also seen a lot more to do with the Toy Story world, and all I know is Rex recognizes them because he was a summon at one point, I think. And then they have, apparently everyone's complaining like Woody doesn't sound like Woody at all. That's all I've heard. I haven't seen anything else from the new trailer.
But is it actually Tom Hanks, or is it not?
No, it's obviously it's not Tom Hanks. Like, if they were going to get anyone to do the voice, I'd want it to be Jim Hanks, his Tom Hanks' brother.
Yeah, because who does all the game stuff, yeah.
And the toys and stuff, yeah. So, like...
It's not too big of a complaint, though, so...
Oh, no. Like, to be honest...
Buzz?
I don't know. I think he's fine. But, honestly, just looking at a screenshot of the gameplay takes my breath away. It looks so good.
It does. Visually, it looks amazing. And
the gameplay looks so much better, so much more refined compared to the others in the series. Like, I remember, like, when we saw Kingdom Hearts 2 and everyone was like, this is amazing, look at how beautiful this is, and compare, like, what we thought was grandeur then to now, my god, what a difference. It's like night and day.
We've really come far this day and age.
It's insane. Like, to be honest, I have the new God of War paused right now because my girlfriend actually bought it for me today out on a whim, so thanks for that.
Lucky fuck.
But, like, yeah, I know, I was shocked at it. But, like, looking at the title screen and, like, the intro sequence, Jesus, like, how far have we come? It's insane. But
it's like when you look at Buzz Lightyear in Toy Story to Buzz Lightyear to the Rescue then and now in Kingdom Hearts 3,
it looks like the movie.
It does. It looks like I'm watching a Pixar film. It's amazing.
And it's about time, because I've always wanted to play a fucking movie, you know? Like, properly. And we've got so many new worlds coming in. We've got... I'm sure we're going to see a whole bunch of, like, new stuff. And the story is going to break my mind even further. But I hope to see Sephiroth. Yeah, I hope to see more Sephiroth, because I'm a Sephiroth nut. But also because I also want to hear more of fucking...
George Newbern, though apparently... Yeah, though there is another thing to note here. For the Final Fantasy VII section, like the remake, it actually has a to-be-announced part there, so they might be changing the voice actor for that.
Oh, what? Okay. Well, the only thing I would want them to do is make sure that Cloud isn't an emo, whiny bitch, because he's not a whiny bitch. He is an Advent Children.
Yeah, he's a wise ass.
He cracks jokes.
He's a wise ass entirely.
Like, one thing, like... Tom, like, we're currently doing, well, we're taking a break from it at the moment, but Final Fantasy VII, like, Disc 2 I'm going to get to, but we're going to see a lot of Chocobo racing. Every time he wins a race and finds out he wins, he does a little kick of happiness. Like, that is happy Cloud. He is not depressed, he's not, who am I? He's not like that. Like,
he's not Shadow the Hedgehog.
Yeah, he's not like, ruined by Advent Children, and, like... Kingdom Hearts Cloud, he's kind of the same thing, but it's just like, that's not Cloud. So I don't, from what we did see in the trailer for the remake, which is probably retconned at this point, like, he kind of seemed stern and like, I don't care about anything, but that's kind of what Cloud was like in the beginning of 7. Like, you've noticed that, Tom, and then you see how much he ends up caring at the end.
Yeah, he is pretty sort of like sort of distant. I mean, he cares about his friends, but he's just distant because of all that's happened.
Yeah, he was also just doing it for the money at the start of the game, but then it all becomes really big. Yeah. Where was I going? Yeah, like, I hope to hear some more George Newbern as Sephiroth. Like, because his Sephiroth is one of my favorites. Like, I recently picked up Final Fantasy. I've recently picked up Final Fantasy Dissidia NT, and like, I've been fighting Cloud and Sephiroth all the time, just hearing the like fucking George Newbern say like the horrifying shit that Sephiroth says. It's just like, oh my god, this is so cool.
It's just I'm looking at all the Kingdom Hearts, some of these Kingdom Hearts 3 screenshots from their official Twitter, and it just looks so incredible.
It does.
Like when they're on the train and it's like got all the lights on it and just looks good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and play Kingdom Hearts 1 and 1. Or well, at least I'll get all of them done before Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out.
Honestly, you're still not gonna be able to follow it.
No, I mean, no.
Yeah, like if you can't just play 1 and 2, you have to go and look at the plot of the sequels. Which
you have to. So
good luck with that.
Get the PS4 stuff. 1.5, 1.8, and then 2.5, I think.
It's like, Keiran, I know you're going to be mad at me when I say this, but I actually traded in my copies of Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 and the 1.5 for PS3, but that's only because the
That's
1.5
okay, because if
and
you're getting it on
2.8
PS4,
exists on
that'd be
PS4.
fine.
Yeah, that's why
Yeah.
I did it. It's just because that exists, and I want to just get it that way.
Yeah, because I traded in my
Actually-
PS2 copies of 10 and 10.2 to get it on PS4.
So just because
Actually,
that's
I just,
the definitive version, it has everything that leads you up to Kingdom Hearts 3, and you'll be
Yeah.
solid.
Go on, Rob.
I actually just remembered something. In the event that you don't want to play the spin-offs, there is always a YouTube channel you can look up called Just a Pancake.
Yay! Yeah.
Yes.
So, thank you, Justin.
He makes shitposts about Kingdom Hearts, and not gonna lie, they're pretty accurate retellings of
I
stories.
know the guy you're on about, actually, because I think he made a jab at some Call Me Johnny guy I watch. I think you watch him
Yeah,
too.
he did.
My bad,
Yeah,
mate.
like
It's pretty great.
I saw that. That was quite funny. But
But yeah, like he sums up those games really, really well. It saves a lot of time.
Yeah, so I doubt you'd be able to follow it even then, but as long as it helps, that's alright. Obviously, one thing that we're all expecting and everyone's predicted, and I know it's definitely going to happen, we're going to get a release date because it's been so long at this point and they've shown off so much that it's obvious we are getting a release date.
Oh yeah, at this point definitely. With all the stuff we've got, if they don't announce a release date, it's just going to be
a dick move, but yeah, we're getting one, without a doubt.
Yeah.
But moving on from Kingdom Hearts 3, there is one other thing that I can't remember. I think it was either last year or the year before that. But Square Enix actually showed off a crossover thing that they were doing with Marvel, which was an Avengers game.
This I didn't know about actually.
Yeah, there's a small
Neither did
little
I.
teaser trailer for it. Like I'll send it to you guys when I can. It's nothing major. It's just a bunch of very key elements, like Mjolnir's on the floor, like the Captain America shield's there. It's all in a bunch of rubble, and then we just see the Avengers logo with Square Enix before the black screen shows up and stuff. So they are doing an Avengers game, which I am very, very interested in.
Yeah,
but we
I'd love
haven't
to see,
really
a
had
superhero
much.
game like that, with other sort of Marvel characters done in a sort of style I don't know, kind of like the Arkham games, but that'd be nice.
Oh yeah, because the new Spider-Man game we're getting for fucking
yes.
which I'm yeah.
So looking forward to that game.
I can't wait for that. But that basically looks like the Arkham games. But I'm interested to see what they do with it. If we even see it, but because it's been so long. Are we just forgetting about that now? But speaking of a game that I thought that everyone was going to forget about, Octopath Traveler. I'm probably guessing
I've
we're going to get more
downloaded
on
the
that.
demo for that, but I haven't played it yet.
I've played the demo, and oh my god, it is fucking RPG goodness, and I love it.
Yeah,
because-
I've seen a few playthroughs, and it looks great.
Yeah, I played the two that they offer. It's the brawler character who has the sword, who's very up and mighty. I was a knight, but now I'm not. But that's literally his voice as well. I am a knight. That's him.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's from what I've seen of it so far, I love the art style. If they were to ever remake something like Chrono Trigger, if they did it in that art style, that would be amazing.
Oh, don't
Yes.
tease me. Oh, I
needs to
want
happen.
that. I want that so bad. Well,
And not some shitty port to Steam.
which was the mobile version. Fucking idiots.
Yeah.
Do you
They're
know?
slowly fixing it, but it's still not there yet.
Do you know what I think that they would really benefit from? You know how they completely remade Secret of Mana for the PS4? If they did that for Chrono Trigger, they would be in the money.
Oh yeah.
Easily.
Minus the voice acting, I agree.
Definitely, yes. If they had, I don't know, Banjo-Kazooie's, or something like that. I don't know. Or maybe not even, they don't necessarily need voice acting, But,
Yeah, not everything needs voice acting.
But sometimes it helps.
Yeah.
There is actually one more thing to do with Square Enix, Kieran, that you may have forgotten.
Oh, go on. What have I forgot?
Tomb Raider.
Oh, shit, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, which is coming out this year, which I am very looking forward. No, Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Yeah,
I
where
played the
they
first
always
one.
show an eclipse in the back or something like that, right?
Yeah, because they've showed a trailer for it, which I actually probably need to sit down and watch, but it looks really cool from what I've seen so far. because I love the first Tomb Raider game that Square Enix did. I love it to death. One of my favorite games ever made. I have Rise of the Tomb Raider, but I haven't played it yet. But I plan to before Shadow of the Tomb Raider comes out. But yeah, I really love the first one.
Yeah, like, I know, for me, it's weird. There's a kind of a sore spot, or like, I don't know, a sour taste in my mouth. Like, I haven't touched the new game, but honestly, I think the only reason I have this sour taste in my mouth is because it felt like it was unneeded in some way, because Tomb Raider, I felt like was doing just fine. I may be dumb in that, but I feel like the only reason we got the Tomb Raider that we did was because of the whole Anita Scarzezian thing. We're not going to go into that. Trust me, we're not.
No.
But
no, it's best
it
not.
it felt like we just got it for that. And Lara Croft was always a badass. But
it's not so much a prequel, more a reboot. But the main reason
I know that. That's also a reason why it feels like a sour taste in my mouth. I felt like we're getting too many reboots at some point, and I felt Tomb Raider didn't need one. But
the main reason is because I played this game before the originals. Now, I just want to go on the back. From the originals, I've only played a bit of the first one. I own all 3 of the original games, and I do plan to play them.
Tank controls. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, but as far as I can tell, I can see
Resident
why
Evil then.
But I came straight off the Uncharted games when I played Tomb Raider, and I love the Uncharted games, so naturally I just sort of got straight into Tomb Raider, and I loved it. So, next to that, it's like I still love that game so much, and as far as I can tell, I'd love Rise of the Tomb Raider just as much. Yeah. So Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
And Nathan's already basically a male version of Laura, so
yeah, pretty much exactly. Oh God, I wonder if I suppose we can talk about Naughty Dog in a bit, but yeah.
But other than that, like, going off Octopath Traveler, like, I don't know if it got a release date. I can't remember. It's been a while. But I've loved the demo that I've played. It's RPG goodness. It's like, it's not Final Fantasy, but it has the kind of system that Final Fantasy has always had, like in terms of like 6, and stuff like that. But the emotions like the characters can show, even in their pixel art, that's very Final Fantasy 6, and I love that.
It's not actually that far away. Apparently, it comes out on the 13th of July. So yeah.
Oh, that's not cool.
Yeah, so about just over a month.
Then
so, yeah, there you go.
in that case, we might not see it, because if it comes out on the 13th, because Square Enix's conference is actually on June 11th, so
no,
we
13th,
might not.
13th of July.
Oh, okay, never mind.
So we'll probably see something of it.
There might be. Yeah.
But just looking at this art style, like, oh, it's so good.
I love it. I
really need to play this demo now. My God.
Yeah, play the demo.
I can so see a Chrono Trigger remake being done in this style.
I would love that.
Yeah.
Other than
take my money.
Yeah.
Shut up and take my money.
Yeah. Other than that, I think that's about it for Square Enix, unless they show off something new. They announce a Final Fantasy VIII remake or some shit like that. Or
I don't really think they have anything else they really need to announce. They've got Kingdom Hearts 3, Octopath Traveler, and the FF7 remake they're working on. They're just gonna go crazy if they had anything else.
Yeah, they would. But that's about all they need to do. Just make the audience happy, and I think they'll get a good response. That's about it for Square Enix's conference, I think, unless you guys have anything else to add.
I think that's it. Square Enix Rise. Wise. Again, the thing I'm looking forward to the most, again, is probably some more on like Shadow of the Tomb Raider. But again, looking forward to see what they'll do with Kingdom Hearts 3. Hoping we'll get something to do with Final Fantasy 7, even if it's nothing, even if it's not a trailer, even if it's just some guy talking like, "This is what we're doing with the game," just something like that, you know. And again, if they're doing more with Final Fantasy 15, go ahead, show us what you're doing there. But
yeah, well, yeah, that's actually one thing. Like, speaking of that, they're probably going to bring up more about the DLC, because I know apparently, because I don't know if you guys have beaten 15, but the ending is a bit bittersweet. It's got a tragic ending, but it's also
telling me about this. It's
kind of tragic, but it ends on a very high note as a result. but I think a lot of people cried at it. I know I did, but I loved it for that fact. I cried so much during this game, by the way. I'm not lying to you. But during the ending, it does have a tragic result. But I think because everyone got really butthurt over it, everyone wants a new ending where it's a happy end. Yay!
So that's what this DLC is pretty much about. So yeah,
don't do that.
It's just okay. I love a happy ending as much as the next person because I could be a pretty emotional
but
guy.
It is happy. It's just a tragic. It's tragic thing that happens, which results in the happy ending.
No,
oh my god!
Exactly. Like I can understand that absolutely, but I agree in the sense that not everything has to have a happy ending. Like it doesn't have to be all sunshine and rainbows. It's like I know the end of Final Fantasy Disc 1 isn't a happy ending, but it's still an ending.
Yeah, 7.
Final Fantasy 7 Disc 1. It's not a happy ending, but it's an ending.
God,
it's
no.
an effective ending.
Yeah. Heck, look at Final Fantasy VI. Almost the entire game is just an incredibly depressing story.
Yeah, like, there's a moment, after the end of the world. Yes, the end of the world. Thanks, Kefka. There's a moment where I think... Yeah. But there's... I think it is with Terra, but you can have your grandfather die if you feed him small fish.
I know what you're talking about. That's Celeste, not Terra.
Celeste, yeah, that's it. Sorry. But you can have your grandfather die, and then she tries to commit suicide as a result. Like
I cried so hard when I first saw that, and it still manages to make me cry every time I replay the game.
These games were for kids.
Are you sure?
Oh, that doesn't mean anything.
Well, I mean,
look at Kirby. That series is for kids, and it still has nightmare fuel in it.
Yeah.
Oh god, yeah.
We were hardcore back in the day.
Fucking yeah! Oh my god, yeah. But other than that, we have episodes for certain characters. Like I know Ardyn, the main villain of 15, is going to get an episode, which. I mean, sure, but we kind of know his story. If you watch Kingsglaive, which is an awesome movie, beautifully animated, with all the CG. But then I believe we're going to get one with Lady Lunafreya, which, I mean, sure, gives her more stuff to do instead of her being a background character, even though she's meant to be your fiance. Then I believe I can't remember if we're getting anything else. I know we're getting the happy end. And Ariana, the Dragoon character, who kind of sides with you, even though she's with the Empire. We're getting something with her, which I'm happy about. But that should have been in the fucking Royal Edition, you morons. But yeah, enough on that. Let's move on before I start screaming anymore.
No, again, yeah, Square Enix, interested to say the least, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, moving on, we have Ubisoft. Cringy jokes, one random swear word, and are you shit, Tyler? There you go. No,
pretty much.
They're probably going to announce a new Assassin's Creed game because, fuck it, Assassin's Creed is like the Call of Duty of Ubisoft.
Well, I fucking hope not, because if they've listened, they'll know, but I think we're going to get one thing, and one thing very specific, because I've only written 2, gamey things down, and that's more on Skull and Bones, that thing that they showed off, which actually looked really cool, and...
So the pirate one, isn't it, I think?
Yeah, the pirate one.
Yeah.
And more for the Beyond Good and Evil prequel. I
actually bought Beyond Good and Evil recently.
So good.
I do need to play it. It does look quite good.
Yeah, it's Pokemon Snap if it was actually amazing.
Isn't it like the one with the whole Animal Farm talking pigs and shit?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
But this is a prequel where the trailer we got last year was just shitloads of random swearing with fuck as a comma every 2 seconds.
Which really doesn't feel anything like Beyond Good and Evil.
Yeah, I kind of got it felt awkward, and it felt like, hey, we can swear, we're edgy, haha.
It's probably just because it's Ubisoft.
Yeah, they were trying way too hard.
Yeah, it was very try hard. I hope they dumbed down on it. I said that to myself after watching the trailer. Yes, I was like, oh my god, fucking, it's Beyond Good and Evil, holy shit. They were swearing a lot. What the fuck? But yeah.
Yeah, it's people do swear, but not that much.
Not that much.
It's kind of cringy.
Ubisoft just came along. We're like, hey, we should put some more swearing in this trailer.
Yeah, it was that weird pig dude that says, "Get that fucking thing for the fucking fuck," or some shit like that. I can't remember the trailer that well, but it was just dumb it down, but I still want to hear more on Beyond Good and Evil. I know it's a prequel because, well, I'm guessing they don't know how to tie up the cliffhanger of 1.
I mean, fuck it, everything's a prequel these days. Like this, Red Dead Redemption 2, fucking everything is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Other than that, actually no. There's one thing that I do want. Like this isn't a prediction. Only something that I'm desperate for. Please, for the love of God, give me a Rayman like 4. Because
I was going to bring. I was going to say
either a Rayman 4 or a Rayman 3 Hoodlum Havoc remake, because Rayman 3 was actually my introduction to the series.
And you love Rayman 3, don't you?
Rayman 3 is so fucking good. Like it's a great platformer. It's got a bit like funny. It's got very funny writing and somewhat edgy like words in it, like oh my god, what the hell, and stuff like that. But nothing too R-rated, but something to give the kids like something to snicker at, which is good.
Yeah.
But I agree with that. Like, admittedly, I haven't played too many Rayman games. Like, I played a bit of Rayman 3D for the 3DS, which is just Rayman 2. And it's good.
Yeah,
you know, like, I can see why people like Rayman 2 a lot. I mean, I need to play it fully before I can make a final comment, but, you know.
Rayman 1 is hard as balls, but if we were to get... Well, hey, Rayman 3 remake, I'd love, but I'd also love a Rayman 1 remake in the style of the Origins game.
Yeah, I'd love that as well.
Yes.
Either something like that or another Origins Legends game.
Yeah, or Rayman 4, because there's a moment in Rayman 3, like your tutorial green fairy dude, I can't remember his name. Like when you get to one of like the hub world things, like which transfers you to another part of the world, he basically said he gets left behind and says, looks like I'm gonna stay here for now, guys. I'll see you guys in Rayman 4, which has never happened. So we haven't seen him.
It's another Banjo 3 thing.
Yeah, more or less, but yeah, cry.
That'd be cool.
As long as it's not as cheap as the first one, I think we should be fine.
Yeah, but anything Rayman, I am up for. Like especially because Rayman 3 is such a good time. Like there's actually a moment where, like I can't remember the name of it. It is where you end up having to battle this guy in like they're these big rock gladiator things. I can't remember the name of them, but he like that's also the world where like when you beat this guy in a gladiator tournament, he ends up being the final boss because he teams up with one of the hoodlums, and it's really funny because like there's a sequence where all of these creatures like they converge on you and you have to you get cornered and then you fall down to a sequence where they start chasing you, and it fucking terrified me as a kid, but I love that game. It's so good.
There are a lot of creepy moments in Rayman games, like the spider from Rayman 2, from what I've heard, and
yeah.
Oh, that thing was freaky.
Yeah, or like the piano from 64. That did creep me out because that was my first game ever. So
I mean, I played 64 a lot later, so that never really bothered me. But I can understand why people found it creepy.
Yeah, well, that was my first game ever.
That thing actually,
it gave me a jump
piano
scare.
in 64. The piano in 64 actually freaked me out more than I expected it to. Because the thing is, it didn't actually do anything at first when I approached it.
Yeah.
And it was only after I grabbed the coin that it started moving, and that freaked the crap out of me.
Honestly, I played Resident Evil 1 like completely a lot later, so this is probably going to be heresy to some people, but the dog jump scare, like when the dogs like jump through the window, which is an iconic fucking jump scare, that didn't get me as much as the piano.
Wow, that's...
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat, but that's mostly because I've seen so many jump scares that I kind of saw it coming.
Yeah.
So...
Because it was
the same
such
kind
an
of
empty room.
Yeah, it was the same kind of deal with me with the plants from the Swamp World in Spyro 1. They freaked me out more than they should have.
Yeah. But one important question: do you think we're going to get Aisha Tyler again? Probably not.
Fuck, please no.
Yeah, because I know we didn't.
They'll find a way.
And I know they didn't have her last year, which honestly improved the conference. But if they have her again,
she's just trying too hard to be like hip with kids, and it's just,
I know,
please no.
Like, if you watch our PrE3 predictions for last year, we bring this up again. We brought this up, and I think I said the same thing I'm going to now, but she tries way too hard on Whose Line Is It Anyway. She tries way too hard to emulate Drew Carey, who was amazing as a host, but like, she's trying way too hard and it's cringeworthy. So yeah, but other than that, I think that's all we can predict for Ubisoft, unless you guys have anything.
I mean, there's definitely going to be something Just
else.
Dance, because they're all that's keeping
Can
the
we
Wii
just
alive.
stop with that? Oh.
Yeah, I think the only games that are still coming out on the Wii, the original Wii, are Just Dance, and that's it.
Like, why?
I think
Ubisoft,
so.
just let it die. Like, nobody is. I love the Wii, but nobody's playing it anymore. If anybody's playing Wii games, they're playing it on the Wii U if they have it.
It's like that one dude who made the fucking Mega Drive or Genesis game, like in 2017. Sorry, I had a burp there.
I mean, it's a cool idea, but it's on a console that no one's gonna buy it for.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, most of what I do with my Nintendo Wii is just, like, go back to a bunch of Virtual Console games or Mario Galaxy.
Exactly. Like, I love my Wii, but just let it die. For fuck's sake.
We'll talk about Virtual Consoles later.
Yeah,
I'm
another-
salty about that, but we'll get to it. The next conference on our list is the second to last, actually. Sony or PlayStation on June 12th at 2 AM for the UK. Kingdom Hearts 3, probably. We might get something there. Or Final Fantasy 7 Remake, please. No, okay.
Again, if they're
sorry.
going to be announced, it's most likely going to be in Square Enix's conference, but yeah.
I know, but I'm desperate, damn it. No,
the main
but
thing I want from Sony
Last
is
of Us Part 2?
That is one, but it's...
Because I know it's going to be there.
Yeah, and also Spider-Man for PS4, because I really want to see more gameplay. But the main thing now is Spyro Reignited Trilogy. I am so looking forward to
That was the first thing I put down.
Because this game... I felt like I was 5 years old when I saw that trailer again, and just...
Like, we kind of knew it was going to happen, but, like, obviously, the way I think they're going to run this is, because they've had Insane Trilogy, which has done remarkably well. Everyone said...
I'm planning to buy it again on the Switch digitally when it comes out, so...
I'm good.
I mean, just to play it portable.
The only thing I'm double dipping is Sonic Mania Plus.
Yeah.
But for me, when I watched you play Spyro 1, I'm not gonna lie, I've seen playthroughs of 1, and I've never really been that invested.
Which
it was
fair enough.
Like, I was interested when you were playing it. Like, there was a lot more from it. Like, the music was amazing when it played.
Yeah, when it works, yeah.
Yeah, look after your discs, dude.
I promise I do.
No, you didn't. But, like, with what I saw, it still looked like the bosses are going to be bitches. But I think
they'll be funnier. They'll at least look cooler with the better animation and graphics.
Yeah,
but they're still going to be pushovers. Yeah.
Yeah, but at this point, I think that would be a good entry point for me. To one, it's going to look amazing. It looks like it's going to play amazing, and if it's going to do what Crash Insane Trilogy did, it's going to have... Because I remember one thing you brought up during the Let's Play of 1. Great timing for that, by the way. But we play the game and then they announce it.
Yeah.
Wonderful. But...
So if I play Half-Life 2, they'll announce Half-Life 2.
No. I'm going to make the same joke again. You know which one. But, like, with Spyro... Well, if they're going to do what they did with Crash, how they implemented a lot of the controls from 2 and 3 in 1, like they did.
Yeah, all the better stuff, and put that in there.
Because I remember you saying during the Let's Play of 1, how during flight there was a little, like, flutter he did at the end of it sometimes that you could trigger.
Yeah,
I'm thinking they're going to implement that in 1.
Yeah.
I think they might implement that in 1, maybe not, but we'll see.
It's like there is stuff like that, like the flutter I could definitely see being implemented. Whether or not they'd give them the ability to swim in 1 is another thing, because obviously there's no levels in 1 where you go underwater. So
unless they add a new place to go to, maybe.
If they do, fair enough, but I'm not sure if they would, but obviously in Spyro 2 and 3, Spyro can swim. So, again, whether or not they implement something like that, we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah.
But it's...
I'm still on the fence on... Oh, you first.
No, you go.
You go first.
Oh, okay, thank you. I'm still kind of on the fence about Spyro, honestly. Like, most collectathons aren't something I generally am able to enjoy outside of the Mario games, and that's mostly because of my first collectathon was actually Mario Sunshine, and
Love that
well,
game.
I wanted to see what happened if you got everything,
Oh, you bought a
I'm
thing,
so
did I?
sorry.
including the blue coins.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
The nightmares. It's alright,
Like,
man.
Yeah,
At the
I'm
very
never
least-
doing that again.
Yeah, never do that again.
About a year ago.
we've still got to do it for our fucking Let's Play. So, woo!
Oh
And
God,
Kieran,
you
you're
poor
making us
souls.
get everything, so that's gonna be
Well,
fun.
the thing is, we're gonna do it as a group, but the plan is don't grab a fucking blue coin ever until the week.
Yeah,
No,
get a
Christ,
guide.
no.
Get
Fuck.
a
And
guide.
always remember that if you go into Corona Mountain and leave, it drains the water.
Yeah, fuck
Which
that.
is the water,
I'm not
yeah.
doing Corona Mountain. I'm not doing Corona Mountain. Fuck that.
Yeah,
Fuck it,
but,
I will.
Yeah, I'm telling you now, get a guide, because there are some blue coins that are
Oh, yeah.
ridiculously,
Oh, yeah.
like, impossible.
The
Like,
one we
I
have-
remember
Well, to be
I
fair,
was
I
missing
think
one.
at this point I've
Yeah.
watched Some Call Me Johnny play that fucking thing 100% enough times, and I've watched the Nintendo-a-thon run so many times that I'm probably good for it. But no, I'm still gonna get a guide anyway.
The fucking one where you
Yeah,
have
because,
to
like,
spray
the one...
signs.
I remember...
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember, like, when I got close to the end of my playthrough, I was like, I have 239 coins, where's the last one? And I found it was in
Yeah.
Serena Beach, and I spent hours looking for the thing, combing throughout the entire level.
And this
You
is
know
before
how I
guides,
ended
wasn't
up finding it? I just looked it up on the internet, and you know what that coin was?
What?
One where you had to spray a bookcase with water.
Fuck's sake.
They were
How you're
such-
supposed
so
to figure
cryptic.
that out, I have no
they were
idea.
such
It's
dumb
so cryptic.
places. Like, I love
Yeah.
Sunshine,
Yeah, like
but
they're
it's
like
just-
some of them are pretty out in the open, but there are a few that
Yeah.
are going to just drive you insane without a guide because they're so vague. Like there's nothing that would give you the idea to go and search there,
it's just,
much less spray it with
Yeah.
water.
I love Sunshine, but my god.
I do too, but I'm never 100%ing it again because that was horrible.
I've done it the once, and I'm good. I'm apart from the Let's Play channel, like I probably won't ever 100% it again.
No.
There's no point. There's no reward to it whatsoever.
Yeah.
Have a relaxing vacation. It's only the hardest 3D Mario game.
Yeah.
Definitely want
yeah.
100% again.
No.
Yeah.
But moving on from Sunshine, Last of Us Part 2, I know for a fact that it's going to be there because Naughty Dog have actually said we're going to talk about it there.
They have.
The last thing we saw to do with that was Ellie playing the guitar, which was a beautiful thing.
It's
and
not.
then Joel...
It's not actually, Kieran, because
Go
we
on.
actually got another trailer a couple months back to do with The Last of Us Part 2. It doesn't have Ellie and it doesn't
We
have
did?
Joel in. It has brand new characters in it who they've stated are going to be relevant, but basically, like, they're in
I
this
didn't know
forest. There's this brace. I'll just look it up, like a Last of Us Part 2 trailer. Not the single one, the other one. You'll see it. But basically, there's this group that bring out these characters, sort of looking for information, and there's a lot of dark shit in it. There's a scene where one character has her arms broken with a hammer, so you know.
Oof.
Yeah, there's a lot of dark
Ow.
shit in it, but it's just that's what makes The Last of Us great. And
Yeah.
obviously, like I said, there's new characters that are going to be a big part of the game. So we'll just have to see where it goes. But I'm so looking forward to this game because I love the Last of Us so much, the first game.
From everything I've seen of one, like I still need to beat it, but I've seen enough LPs to know what happens.
Joel
But,
and Ellie's
like-
relationship is one of the best you'll ever find in a video game, I think.
Oh, definitely. From because I have played it.
Yeah.
I need to re-buy it again because I need to trade it in for money because I was poor at the time. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
But
Just buy the PS4 remaster.
exactly, I'm sorted. I'm good.
Yeah.
But thing is, from everything I've gathered from Part 2 is we know Ellie's the main character this time. I think.
She's the main. I think you do play as Joel for a little bit, but I think Ellie's the main sort of. Yeah.
Okay. From I've heard theories, but like apparently Joel is dead the whole time, and it's a figment of Ellie's imagination or something, which I
Yeah.
suppose is interesting.
There have
but
been a
also,
lot of theories that, like, from what
But
they've
also-
stated, is that one character in this game is pregnant, and most people think it might be Ellie, despite the fact she's a lesbian.
Yeah. Well, we've already watched Juno.
Yeah.
I know it's not actually her, but yeah, it looks like her enough.
Yeah.
But no, one thing I think, because you mentioned like they're going to play as Joel, I think Joel is going to die.
Might be playing as Joel, but
Joel is going to die.
I figured
he's going to he's going to die in the first, like either the first third or something like that. He's going to sacrifice himself to save Ellie. Like go, like you save you. Like no, I need to save you. You saved me long ago, or some shit like that.
Yeah. In some ways, I kind of hope it's not like that, but they've stated that a lot of The Last of Us Part 2 is centered around revenge, so it probably will.
Yeah, and it's going to be dark. Well, obviously, if anyone's going to get revenge, it's going to be Ellie for
That's
the
probably
death
what
of
she
Joel.
means by the trailer, where she says, I'm going to find it, I'm going to kill every last one of them. She probably means this group or whoever maybe killed Joel, and yeah.
Yeah, and I think the trailer was meant to be like... Yeah, probably the Fireflies. And I think because like they put Joel into the trailer of the last E3 we got, to do with Last of Us anyway, I think they're lying, kind of like how Marvel did with Infinity War and like Spider-Man Homecoming. They show like particular scenes that never happened.
Yeah.
I think they might have like baited you, kind of like how wrestling does a work, like they make you believe and stuff like that.
Because I get the feeling like what these trailers that we've seen so far won't actually be in the final game. They'll just be sort of
like speaking characters. Yes, like kind of speaking of that, like whether or not it's an improvement or like to trick you. Like for example, I think this is an improvement example, but with the new God of War, which I'm not playing at the moment. It's currently paused, but we saw like the intro sequence at E3, and including the gameplay where he kills this troll, I think. But he says to Atreus, your mother taught you... Yeah, well, other than boy. Like, your mother taught you to hunt. Go hunt. I'm hungry. He says, I'm hungry. I do remember that specifically. But from what I played, he didn't say that. They changed it up for an improvement, I think. But I think that with other games, they've done like a lie, or like they've led you on, put a breadcrumb in a wrong direction to make you believe. So I think that's something they'll do with Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah, they will. Like, it's strange because The Last of Us Part 2 it's one of the most kept, like, quiet games I've ever seen, because, like I said, the only stuff we've ever gotten about it from trailer wise are those two trailers. And we've had some, for all the rest that we've only ever got has come from the director Neil Druckmann, when he just tells us these small bits about, oh, someone's pregnant, or it's based around revenge. That's all we've had. Like, it's been such a quiet game. And we didn't get anything from it from E3 last year. And the main reason for that was most likely because Uncharted The Lost Legacy was coming out, and they wanted to keep the spotlight on that, which is fair enough.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but obviously we're going to see more this year. I hope we get gameplay. But most likely...
I think we will.
I don't think the game's coming out this year. It won't be this year.
No.
I suppose we'll have to wait and see.
I mean, if it is, great. But if it's not, I won't be surprised. But I
anything to make improvements. Like if there's a delay, as long as it's improving the game, I'm alright with that.
Exactly. Like I'm so looking forward to this game because I love the first Last of Us. Like when I first played it, I was like, this is pretty good so far. But The Last of Us is a game where it's got great gameplay, but it's based more around the characters and how they evolve, how you grow with them, and how you sort of care about them, you know?
Yeah, I get that.
Which is why you want to see it adapted more, which is why I'm looking so forward to this sequel.
Yeah.
Speaking of games that we haven't seen much of,
Death Stranding?
Do we want to talk about Death Stranding?
Yeah, that's literally next on my list. Like,
I can't believe I actually forgot about Death Stranding.
Okay, fucking Kojima. Everything we've seen for this fucking game of Norman Reedus and the Funky Fetus, like, dude, what the... One, we haven't got gameplay yet, and two, it's breaking my mind.
Just give us a fucking release date, please.
Well, thing is,
like,
I don't think we're gonna get
anything relating to...
Okay, alright, what I want is I want to see some gameplay, and I want a release date. If we see gameplay, I'm almost guaranteed, like, well, this is me being hopeful, we're almost guaranteed a release date to go with it, because they've been working on this for a while. We've seen 3 trailers. Obviously, there's the first one where it's Norman Reedus and the Funky Fetus, and then we see like the title of the game. Then
And
we
the second one's
got
like with that guy where he's holding the thing.
the
he's gone
weird,
under, like,
the
tunnel.
fetus like thing, and then we see Mads Mikkelsen, who I'm guessing is the villain, and oh my god, that fucking terrified me, where he lifted the thing up and it disappeared like that. Like that, I'm looking forward to whatever it is, because this is Kojima unhinged. Because Konami has held him back a lot in the past, like with Metal Gear and stuff. For some reason, I think
now he's got no
done.
limits. Like he can go all out.
It's like fucking if like Goku, he's finally allowed to go Ultra Instinct or some shit. So Hideo Kojima Ultra Instinct mastered or some shit like that. But like we're gonna see. I'm pretty sure my mind's gonna be snapped in half again, like he did to me with Metal Gear Solid 2. But I think.
Oh yeah, this game's gonna be a mindfuck.
It already is. But
yeah, it is.
I'm pretty sure, like, if we don't see gameplay, we're not going to get a release date. If we see it at all. But I think...
If we don't get a release date, I'll be like, okay, Kojima, I love you, man, but please, you announced this game about 2 years ago. Like, why?
Well, I think...
Yeah, and we still don't even know what kind of game it's going to be.
Like, I don't think it's going to be stealth. Like,
no.
There might be stealth elements, but I think Kojima's done with that.
I think he wants to move away from the stealth genre at this point.
Yeah, but I think it's going to be more action-oriented with a sense of thriller and horror to it, because he had some kind of... He's always had a horror element in the Metal Gear series, because if you remember in Metal Gear Solid 1, we had Psycho Mantis, who freaked everybody out. I know I did, because that was my second game of all time when I was 7. So imagine that creeped me out.
I mean, that music is especially...
Oh yeah, the hymn. I love
You've
it.
played Castlevania, haven't you?
Haven't you?
You've been playing Super Mario Sunshine, haven't you?
How did you know that? Then, like in Metal Gear Solid 2, we had Vamp, who was also kind of creepy. And then in Metal Gear Solid 3, we get the Fear, who was also really creepy. And then
I still got that to look forward to.
Yeah, in Metal Gear Solid 4, we had a bunch of creepy stuff. Like, there's too many to count in that one.
The creepiest thing I found with Metal Gear Solid 4 so far is the little Easter egg you can get when you're back at Shadow Moses, where you can find just a picture that only appears for like a brief moment of Sniper Wolf on the wall where she died.
Oh yeah, like you can get a bunch of ghosts. Like there is a picture you can take where the tank was in the snowfield after the laser sequence.
Yeah.
If you take a picture in a specific spot, you can see the guards that were in the tank shooting you, and you can also see a picture of Raven, which is cool.
Which is cool, but it's pretty creepy as well.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
But in 5, I suppose the skull unit. But Kojima has always.
I would say the infection rather, or like whatever the parasites. I forget what they're called. Like the things that basically infest the majority of your base, and you have to go kill your men. Like oh my
that
god,
was Jesus. Like that fucked my mind up. Like that was hard to watch.
Yeah, the most painful thing about it is that they just saluted you while you had to kill them.
Yeah,
it's like, and they're like, whatever the boss is okay with is what we're okay with, and you just have to shoot them knowing that.
It just goes to show how devoted they were to you. It's like you actually feel like you are the leader in that game. Like it's a great game. There's a lot of problems with it. There is, but that sequence, that was something.
Yeah.
So there is always a kind of thriller, somewhat horror element to Kojima's games, and with this, I think the way Mads Mikkelsen's character, whoever he is, was shown off in the trailer we got of him in it, that was quite creepy, and I think we're going to get more unhinged stuff. And I think because he's working with Guillermo del Toro on this one, right? He is still working with him.
Yeah.
So everyone knows what Del Toro is like. He's into his horror and stuff. And for God's sake, they were working on Silent Hills together. So they would be crazy not to include some sort of horror element. I think there will be, if not completely horror, thriller, without a doubt.
I mean, there's going to be elements of that in there, because you've got actors who've worked in at least a good number of those kind of horror, creepy roles. Like, obviously you've got Norman Reedus, which has made me excited because I love The Walking Dead. And like I said, Mads Mikkelsen, who I think most people know. He's great. Like, I mean, I mostly know him as Le Chiffre from Casino Royale.
Le Chiffre.
But,
yeah, great performance as well.
Yeah, but, but obviously you've got great talents in there. Again, Norman Reedus, for me especially. Apparently, he was
Yeah.
meant to be in Silent Hills. I think Norman Reedus.
He was in it. He was like, if you remember the playable test or PT, like if you beat like the main part of that, he actually gets out of that creepy house, and then he walks past a sign. I believe it says Silent Hill, and then it shows his face, which is Norman Reedus.
Yeah.
So then it got
Which-
cancelled. But one thing I love, if you remember last year, we did get another trailer which still confused everybody, even Norman, and he said how he was basically praising Hideo for everything, saying, "I have no idea what I just watched, and I'm probably never going to understand it." Then he said, "But we are working hard on this, and no one is going to stop us this time." Like, I love that fucking jab at Konami. Fuck you, Konami.
Yeah, which is why I get the
yes.
feeling that with this game, because obviously Kojima was director on Silent Hills, so
Yes, he was.
So I get the feeling a lot of the stuff that was going to be in Silent Hills is going to be brought over to Death Stranding, because I imagine there was going to be a lot of potential with it. That he was like, okay, so Konami, they cancelled it. Well, I'm just going to move it over to Death Stranding instead.
I don't think he's going to completely like mirror it, but he might take some elements from it.
But like any elements he was like proud of, that like I imagine he'll move it over to Death Stranding.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that happening easy.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I still I want gameplay, and then I want a release date. If we just get gameplay, okay, it's something new, and I'm happy to see it. But if we get a release date as well, I will freak out.
Yeah, just a release date just to give me hope. Like, I don't know, is this the longest Kojima has kept us with release dates? Like, what's it been like in the past with like the Metal Gear series? Like, has he ever kept us waiting ages before he's given a release date for any of those
There
games?
was a big gap between a few. Well, actually, Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2, they were alright, but in terms of gap. But I think 3, that was a bit of a wait. 4, definitely. I think this is kind of normal for him, but I think the wait's been a bit longer because of the whole Konami drama.
Yeah, but just
Yeah.
again, this game, it got announced 2 years ago. If anything, just a release date. Like, a gameplay
Yeah.
would be amazing as well, definitely. I mean, it is a video game, believe it or not. It'd be great to see that. But,
Yeah, it is Kojima, so we're gonna get a massive story with it.
it is going to be a big
And-
story, I imagine.
And Del Toro's working on it, so it's gonna be even bigger.
Yeah, so it just shows that there's going to be a lot of talking. But next to that, just anything would be nice about this game, a release date
Yeah.
especially, so I've got something to look forward to. But, yeah, that's,
Yeah.
What else?
All right. Then the next thing I've got listed down, because we've seen it twice already. The zombie game Days Gone. Because one, yes, we need more zombies, and two, we've seen the trailer twice at this point. It's coming out 2019. I know that much.
I've heard about this, but I haven't seen much of it, so...
It's the most we've ever seen. I believe it felt like we watched the trailer twice each year. But there's this guy who's in a hat. He looks like he's been pulled out of. He was one of the characters pulled out of Far Cry 5, or something like that. He looks like he's just from Montana or some shit like that. Oh no, we did get something new from the new Days Gone. Actually, we've got a zombie bear. I remember that.
A zombie bear? Oh, so zombie animals, that's...
A zombie bear.
That's kind of interesting, actually.
Or something like that. But yeah, we got that, and we're trying to save partners and stuff. It's kind of like Last of Us but it feels like it's the perspective of the Fireflies or other survivors. It's
Focused on a group rather than just...
Yeah, it
two
feels
characters.
like that, but obviously it's not Last of Us at all.
No.
It would be crazy if they somehow tied it in. That would be like a oh my god plot twist.
That'd be
But,
something weird. That'd be some weird shit.
Yeah, but no, it is definitely from the hordes of zombies that we have seen. It's very much like 28 Days Later or World War Z, how they converge and group together. So
Yeah.
I
like-
mean, it's okay, sure, but at this point, I'm tired of zombie games. I need a big gap between them, like I do with Assassin's Creed games. I'm never going back to them, but you need to have a big gap between some games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with that as well. I love zombies. Alright, I love The Walking Dead. I think that's made apparent. You just need to go on my Twitter page and somehow find my tweets during the episodes when they're on the air.
All you do is fucking live tweet.
It's fun. It's fun. But yeah, so
I'm gonna live tweet E3 as well. My God, I'm
Yeah.
so hype.
that's gonna be good. But yeah, so I mean, I love the zombie game. I haven't seen much about this. The name obviously rings a bell to me, but you know, I'll give it a go because I like these kind of zombie games. But the only sort of other zombie game that I was truly aware of is they're making a new Walking Dead zombie game.
Oh yeah, yeah, I did see something about that. Yeah.
Which, I mean, again, love The Walking Dead, so that'll be fun to see what they can do with that. As long as it's better than Survival Instinct, that's for sure.
Yeah. But that's more or less it. It's a zombie game. I'm sure they might show something off because it's coming 2019. We don't know exactly when, but yeah. Spider-Man,
Yes!
the new one.
Oh, next to Spyro, my most hyped game for this year.
I'm so looking forward to it. They showed off the web swinging last year,
Yeah.
which was one thing. Me and my friend Shane, we loved the Spider-Man games, and Spider-Man 2, that had the best web swinging. Like, yes, the game may not have been that great, but the web swinging was the best. I cannot deny
I do
that.
have to agree with you. I'm a big fan of Spider-Man games. Obviously, you know, I played Spider-Man 2000 for the channel. That game was my childhood.
Yeah.
And I love the other games in the series, like I love the first Spider-Man movie game. I love what I played with Spider-Man 2.
Oh yeah.
A little bit of Spider-Man.
It took me forever to beat 2.
It's a little bit of Spider-Man 3. I love Ultimate Spider-Man. That's a great game.
Yeah.
What
Don't
else?
talk about the Amazing Spider-Man series. Don't.
Actually, Amazing Spider-Man 1, I actually kind of like that game.
Oh, fair enough.
Amazing Spider-Man 2 can fuck off, though. That is the worst Spider-Man game. I hate it so much.
Just suddenly a real dark turn. Okay.
No, seriously, I played that game, and at first I was like, oh, okay, the swinging's pretty good. I finished it, and I was like, this is the worst Spider-Man game I've ever played.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah,
Well, I'll take your word for it.
It was just, oh, God. I could go on a tangent,
Yeah.
but whenever we play that game, I'll show you why it's bad.
Well, I've seen enough gameplay to know. But
But
the main thing from this, like, we've seen the gameplay already. We've seen how it's kind of like the Arkham games in the way it plays, which I am fucking A-okay with.
I am fine with that. 'Cause the Arkham, I don't know if I've stated it before, but weirdly enough, Batman
The Arkham games are
City-
great.
Yeah, Batman Arkham City is my favorite superhero video game ever made.
Wow, I didn't actually know that. Same here.
Yeah, I
but-
love Arkham City to death.
Yeah, like, I love the Spider-Man series as well. Like, I only really played the movie games, and 2 was awesome. So, and hearing Bruce Campbell over the hints, I was all for that.
Bruce Campbell is great.
We might hear him in the Insomniac game, because
That would be amazing.
well, unfortunately, he's not going to be doing much anymore, considering his Ash vs. the Evil Dead got cancelled, which was unfortunate, which sucks ass. But and he even said he's done with the character now. So I'd be hyped to see him as the narrator again. I'd be okay with that.
Yeah,
But
that would be cool. Like, when this game was first announced, like, I nearly shit my pants because, one, it was a new Spider-Man game that was not being developed by fucking Beanox and Activision, thank God.
Yeah,
And
and
when
it's
I heard,
Insomniac.
yeah, when I heard the
Oh,
developer, I was
yes.
like, wait, Insomniac? As in
I was
Spyro the
confused
Dragon?
too.
Yeah, I was like, Spyro the
And
Dragon?
Ratchet and Clank.
Insomniac? I was like, fuck yeah. So,
Yeah.
I was so excited, you know. I don't think we got much about it until the next E3.
Well, yeah, we got loads. Like,
Yeah,
we
we
got
saw-
gameplay, we got a better trailer, and we saw Miles was there.
Which we did.
Thing is, I have a feeling Miles isn't the main character. We are going to be playing as Peter Parker.
No,
I
believe it or
think
not.
well, crazy. But I think Miles will be a big part. I think Miles will also play a part as one of the guys from the Spider-Verse, because
That he will.
that's actually one thing I'm looking forward to. It's not E3 related, but Into the Spider-Verse, that animation movie. God, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, that does look good. Like,
Yeah.
admittedly, yeah, like, when the game was first shown and we first saw the costume, admittedly, I wasn't too fond of the costume at first.
I loved the costume, not gonna lie. I was like, this is new and I love it.
I've grown to
When
it
I get the
since-
chance, I'm pre-ordering it because I want the Iron Spider suit.
Me too. Like, definitely. Like, I just want that game so much. Like, I've grown to the costume since. It was more the white spider that kind of turned me off. I prefer, like, the black sort of spider design. But I have grown to it since, and I do kind of like it now.
There's only one thing that I don't like, and it's a massive fucking nitpick. I don't like the cover. I really don't.
It is pretty bland.
It's too.
Yeah.
It's bland. It's basic.
It almost looks like that
it's-
sort of when you go into a game store and you see like the game, you can pre-order it. That gives you a just a not final cover release, but
Oh yeah.
yeah, you get one.
Yeah.
Like just something like that, really. That just sort of
Yeah.
I mean,
But
I don't mind.
I've seen the web swinging, and that's all I need to know. Because one, I know you can run up the walls again. Everything looks amazing, and you can go super fast with this web swinging as well. Because when they showed off the gameplay at last E3, it was a lot slower, which was okay. But the thing is, the developers said we were deliberately being slow just for the E3 showcase, but we promise you can go very fast. And as soon as they said that, I was like, this is already the best Spider-Man game they've ever made.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah, and it's really good that they let you go fast, because with games getting a lot bigger these days,
Oh,
having
yeah.
a slow web swing would make everything take forever.
exactly.
Oh,
Like
without doubt.
when I saw the swinging on a recent video, I just commented saying that I think this might be the best web swinging in a Spider-Man game ever.
Oh, easily, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's also one thing I want to bring up. Speaking of like big open games, did you hear about the update fuck, I can't even remember the fucking name of it. No Man's Sky. Yeah, that's getting an update.
That's getting an update.
It is.
Yep, apparently it's got some more multiplayer stuff, and it's getting something else. Don't give a shit. No one's playing it anymore.
Neither
Who
do
cares?
I don't care.
You ruined
Yeah.
your chance. It was a mess. Bye. Sorry.
First impressions are everything, and you ruined yours.
You broke
yeah,
my heart.
sorry.
I know it was
Sorry.
you. You broke my
Yeah.
heart.
Yeah. But I want to ask, because there's new things that I want, and when I say new, like maybe it's a sequel to a game, or maybe it's a new IP. I'd be up for that. I don't know what to expect from a new IP, so I can't really say much about that. But if they were going to show off anything, like it might either be Rob. I know you're going to be interested in this. I'm not sure if they're going to do this for Nintendo or Sony, but Mega Man 11. I'd love to see something
Yes.
on that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I knew that would get you happy. But I'd like to see a Sly sequel, because God forbid we haven't seen anything to do with Sly in a while since the trailer for the movie came out in like 2014 or whatever it was, and I'm
when
guessing
did,
it was dropped.
When did Sly 4 come out again?
I don't know.
All I remember with Sly 4 it was developed by Sanzaru Games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it was on the PS3, so
Yeah,
not
I know it ended
terribly
on a
long.
cliffhanger, because blame SGB for that. But all I know is we haven't got anything from them in a while, so it'd be nice to see something new from Sly. But one thing that I personally would really like would be something new to do with Resident Evil, because I've ever since recording it for the Let's Play channel, I've kind of got back into my Resident Evil stint. Like I love the series, and I also forgot how much I loved it. But I still haven't played 7. I know how drastically different it is, and I think Chris is in a DLC or something like that. Chris Redfield, but
yeah.
I think I'd want a Resident Evil 8, and I'd want it to have 1, zombies, and 2, I'd want it to have play into what's been going on with Leon, maybe Jill, Rebecca, because the only other thing the most recent thing we've seen with all of those guys is that movie Retribution or something, whatever it was, I can't remember. But I'd love to see something new with new Resident Evil, or hey no, Tom, I'm gonna make the joke again. Lights go out, someone walks out on stage. It's Gabe Newell.
Oh man.
He's yeah, you know where I'm going with this because I did it last time. The spotlight comes onto him. He says, "Half-Life 3 has been cancelled." Sorry.
At this record, I could see Valve doing that.
Honestly, if that did happen,
The thing is, it's not actually happening anymore, because I think we got a document saying the plans that Half-Life 3 was meant to have, but it's never going to happen.
apparently Half-Life 3 is
Aw.
being made by fans now, so
Which will be getting a cease and desist.
most likely. But
Yeah.
yeah.
I
Which is
don't
why
know,
I'm
because
kind
we
of done
got
with that.
that. I think we got that Freeman game, which
Oh, Hunt Down the Freeman.
Less said about that. Hunt Down the Freeman, which is less said about that the better. But
there you go.
Which is a shame. But
Valve was willing to put their name on that and still say, "Hey, here you go, Half-Life."
Yeah.
Yeah, because but they
Which is a shame because Half-Life 2, and that's including episodes 1 and 2, is one of my favorite games ever made.
Actually, looking at my games collection, because most of it's PlayStation, I'm looking at it now. There's 2 other things I would really like. Devil May Cry 5, and I mean real Dante this time, not Dante. Please, God, leave him in the dirt. And can we either Devil May Cry 5 with Dante, and if not, give me Onimusha, a new one, please. I love the Onimusha games. Give me a new one. Thank you. Goodbye. No, but other than that...
I've actually recently started getting into Onimusha, and it is basically a Resident Evil set in feudal Japan.
Yeah,
I'm enjoying it quite a lot.
Yeah, in our Let's Play, Dan literally says, think Resident Evil but with samurai. And he's... Yeah, there you go.
It basically is.
I think I don't think we're going to see anything for the Dark Souls remaster either, because it's so close to coming out.
It is. I'm looking forward to that remaster quite a lot.
Yeah, if I'm going to get it, I think I'm going to get it for Switch, because I need more Switch games.
I'm going to get it for PS4, but I'll probably get it for Switch to play portably.
I'm looking at my other games collection. I don't really see anything else that...
Actually, sorry, Kieran, there was one thing I wanted to bring up you saying about Resident Evil. Like, I agree with you, I would like a Resident Evil 8, but I really need to get into the series properly first. But, honestly, I wouldn't want them to announce it so soon, because Resident Evil 7 came out, last year. So, in some ways, I'd almost like them to let it simmer for a bit. Like, if anything, I'd love some Resident Evil 7 DLC, with Chris or Leon, something like that.
I wouldn't mind that, but I know... I know is in 7 that they reference 1 with the shotgun puzzle. That's all I know.
There is the ending has a lot of consultations to the rest of the series, because Resident Evil 7 on its own is pretty sort of new. It's different from everything else. It doesn't really have at first any sort of connections to past installments or any sort of characters.
Yeah.
So
it does have a lot of cool homages, though.
Oh yeah, like
minus the tanker section.
Oh okay. I guess I'll have to play it soon.
Yeah. If there is one thing I wish they would do with Resident Evil 7, though, it's increase the enemy variety, because one of the things that you fight the most commonly in that game is this black tar monster thing, and it's freaky the first time you fight it. The 20th, not so much, because then you're used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's all you see during the late game, oh, okay.
Oh, you again.
And they all fall relatively the same way, because you get some pretty great weapons by the end game, so they're not nearly as much of a problem by that point.
And I've seen some gameplay done by Lewis of Brain Scratch Commentaries. I've seen some gameplay on his Twitter of different characters you can be, where he literally just bashes a creature's head into the ground he doesn't care. Like Trevor from GTA 5, if you put him in that game, or something like that. But something like that. I know it's not as horror-filled as it might be, but there's horror there. But something like that.
Like Resident Evil 7, the main sort of reason that I sort of really want to play it eventually as well is because I really like the more sort of horror attempts they're going through it. It's very sort of Texas Chainsaw Massacre-y, sort of,
Yeah, and Blair Witch, from the original showcase we got, where it's those two guys and then one of them ends up in a basement, that was very Blair Witch.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine.
That said, though, if you want to get a really good idea of what Resident Evil 7's like, there's a person on YouTube by the name of Super Bunny Hop who uploaded a video, and it's a great name, but he uploaded a review of it, and it's pretty spot on with what you'd expect from it. It actually is a really great game,
cool.
Even if it does have a few hiccups once in a while.
No game's perfect, so that's good to hear.
Yeah.
Right?
No, yeah.
Other than that, do you guys have anything new that you really want from, or do you want to see that is new, say Mega Man 11 for Rob?
Well, I mean,
I would love to see a couple of boss reveals, for example.
Oh, yeah.
Just one or two to get an idea of what we'd be going up against. and to see if we actually are getting a true Mega Man game in terms of like how it handles. Because one of the things that Mega Man's really well known for in terms of the boss fights is that there's always some kind of a visual tell for when it's about to attack.
Oh yeah.
Or in the case of like the Zero series, it'll have like some kind of a quote before it does an attack. So you can always rely on that to tell when it's going to try and hit you. Like nothing in the series, in terms of bosses anyway, will ever like fake you out outside of like one or two that are doing that on purpose.
Yeah.
So you always have a way to make the fights fair.
That sounds cool.
Can I just say I'm guessing we've moved on to Nintendo now?
Not yet, but
No. Oh wait, no, Mega Man 11's multi-console, isn't it? Sorry.
Yeah. So I think
I think it is. Yeah.
Like I've noted Mega Man 11 in my Nintendo list, but I think it can work with Sony as well. So I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
I think it would add to Nintendo if Mega Man 11 was there, but I think Nintendo's got a lot coming as well.
Yeah.
So do you guys want to move on to Nintendo now, or do you want to like anything from new from?
I'm
Sony
just thinking,
at
is there anything else to really sort of talk about? Like, was I going to think? Yeah, with Sony. Just thinking, did I bring up everything I wanted with Spider-Man for PS4? Actually, no, I want to bring up with Spider-Man PS4. Like, yeah, like I'm perfectly fine with, like you said, how it's sort of essentially sort of like the Arkham games for Spider-Man. Like, I remember like when we first saw the gameplay footage of it for last year. I had a sort of, I guess, friend, sort of someone who I knew at college, who was sort of being really complaining, saying about it's just the Arkham games, and in my head I'm just thinking, well, that doesn't make it a bad game. That's a good thing. It doesn't make
it's a fucking good thing.
Yeah, it doesn't make it a bad game. The Arkham games are how you do a superhero video game right, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So that is how that's done. So I'm perfectly fine with Spider-Man trying it out, and even better than what's been done before in the past. So. Yeah, I don't understand that mentality of people complaining, oh, it's just the Arkham games. Well, it's just like...
Wait a minute. I'm just trying to remember. Wasn't Rocksteady was the guys behind the Arkham games, right?
Rocksteady, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
weren't they planning to do a Superman game?
If they were, I'm unaware of that,
they?
but I'd be up for that, because maybe we could actually get a good Superman game.
Yeah, like... The only Superman games I know is 64 and Apocalypse, or something like that.
There's
do we want to count Injustice?
There's the NES game as well, and the Atari 2600.
Well, I suppose you could count Injustice, but that's more of a fighting game of the entire DC universe.
I suppose Superman's
That's
kind of
true.
the main character in those games, though, because he's kind of the villain, I guess.
Well, he is in 2. Anyway.
Enough on that, we kind of got on a tangent there.
Yeah.
But this one from Rocksteady developing a Superman game, which would be pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, well, that would be cool. If so, I'd like to hear about that. But let's move to Nintendo, because we've been going off on too many tangents here.
Yay.
So, Nintendo, which I think we're all very excited for.
Probably what I'm most looking forward to in terms of this E3, definitely.
Yeah, their conference is going to take place June 12th at 5 PM in the UK. Okay. So, the first thing I am desperate to fucking hear about, Metroid Prime 4.
Yes.
Yes.
Good God, like I promise, I kept my promise, Tom. You remember when we did this Super Smash Brothers talk, where I said fuck it, where I said how I recorded my reactions, then never uploaded it. I put my reaction to Metroid Prime 4 at the end of the video. It's cringeworthy, and I even
need to see that. I need to see that. I haven't seen that. I need to see it.
Looking back now, I really regret doing it, but I think I'm gonna record my reactions again and level myself, unless it freaks me out like it. You'll see. But other than that, I do want to hear more about it. Like, if you guys remember our last PrE3 video, where I was talking about what I wanted for a Metroid game, like we got Metroid Prime 4, but like we don't know anything about it. We don't know when it's set or anything like that. What I would love, without a doubt, is I want it to take place after Fusion. Because
another a Metroid game that takes place after Fusion, rather than just
in the
going
future,
backwards.
like something moving the chronology on instead of fitting it in between each individual game. Like I'm kind of sick of that
Why
now.
did Other M need to take place? I mean, why did
It
Other M need to take place?
It was after Super
Metroid. I suppose they got to explain Adam's origins, kind of, but yeah.
but let's not talk about. Less said about Other M, the better.
Yeah.
But
I actually own it now. So.
What I want from Metroid Prime 4 is I want it to take place after Fusion, because the thing with Samus, like, I've always adored Samus, I've always adored the Metroid series, but
She's probably the most badass.
I want
female
her to
video game
actually
character.
be a fucking bounty hunter. So this is what I want. I said it last time, but Rob, have you played Metal Gear Solid 5?
I have not played it, but I have seen a playthrough of it, so
Okay, so
I know.
you know how
I know
you know how the missions kind of work. Like you have the story missions and the side missions and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I would like you to be able to take up some bounties, but each bounty can be a side bounty or a main bounty and stuff like that. But each bounty you go on, you add bits of a puzzle of a bigger thing that's going on, and but the thing is, you're also on the run from the Galactic Federation, so you also have to keep your head down because you blew up whatever that's
The space station.
the space station
Yeah.
with everything on, and Adam helped you out, and you also have your pets. I can't remember the names at the moment. Something with Chikora's is definitely one of them. But I would love it.
The alien birds and koalas. Let's call them
Yeah,
that.
the ones that taught you how to shine spark and wall jump. But I would love if it kind of went the same way of you were just going about your daily job as a bounty hunter, because that's what Samus is. Maybe we can actually do that. But as you go along these bounties, the story follows along in that way. It follows along. You go on a story because you heard everything starts to connect slowly. I would love something like that. And I'm guessing because it's a Prime game, we are most likely going to be in first person again. But part of me loves how Other M gameplay wise was so much fun. It was so much fun.
It just had shit controls.
Shit controls because all you had was a D-pad. However, if they can correct that with obviously you can correct that because it's not on the Wii anymore. You have the Switch, has a great controllers and great way to play it. So I would love it if it wasn't in first person. I'm guessing it still will be because because the Switch is portable. It would make sense seeing it through the visor like that. But
that would be very cool. I would like that.
But I would still like, in some way, to be able to switch between the two. I wouldn't mind that at all. But we are going to get it first person, obviously, because it's a Prime game. But part of me still kind of enjoys
Provided the switch method isn't via motion controls, because that was incredibly clunky and horrible in Other M.
Yeah, and Prime 3, let's be honest. Remove that panel, and that one, and that one. No thanks.
Pump that sumbitch up.
Yeah, there we go. Thanks, Johnny.
I love that review.
Yes, great.
Twist those knobs.
Thrust. That's the wrong fucking review.
Okay.
There you go. But other than that, Rob, I'm guessing you're a big fan of the Metroid series as well. What
Heck yeah.
What would you like?
Fusion and Prime 1 are my favorites.
Okay, had to ask. How much do you like Super?
A lot. It's up there with some of my favorites. I would say probably third or fourth in my top 5.
Bitchin'.
Wow. I really need to
what
play
do you
Super
want?
Metroid.
Yes, you do.
You do. It's a great game. The controls haven't particularly aged well, but they are still fun.
No, I watched Cadicarus's sort of 10 unpopular things where he said that he didn't really like the controls of Super Metroid a lot, so I'll see what I'm in for.
That really depressed me.
Yeah, they're a bit clunky. Not the worst, but they are clunky.
I suppose when you played it as much as you play it enough times, you kind of think they're perfect. Well, they're not perfect, but
you get used to the controls rather. Yeah.
Yeah, and they don't take that much time to get the hang of. It's just when you're first starting out, you'll probably be messing around with the buttons a whole bunch.
Yeah.
But what I can say for certain so far is that I love the title screen. Just the lone Metroid in this dark room with 2 dead bodies at the side of it. It's really effective.
It's terrifying. I love it.
It is.
But Rob, what do you want to see from Metroid Prime 4, other than Metroids?
I want to see where they're finally going with Psylux. because
Yeah.
Prime 3 had that secret ending where he was tailing Samus, and I don't know if you've played Federation Force at all.
I do
But
know
the
what
secret
happens
ending
in
of
Where
that-
the hell does Federation Force take
Yeah.
place in the timeline?
It is after Prime 3, I believe.
Yeah, it is.
Because they do have the same gunship for Samus from Prime 3 in that game.
Because Samus
But
does show up.
in the secret ending of that, Silex breaks into the Galactic Federation and steals the baby Metroid egg. And I'm kind of curious as to whether or not he's going to actually try and create his own Metroids to specifically hunt Samus while he's trying to attack her. So that could lead to a couple of interesting gameplay ideas.
That sounds very interesting, and I think that might be what they go with, or something like that. Or he hands it over to the pirates, the space pirates. He might do something like that. Or, like, I guess we'll see.
I don't know if he'll do that, because the hunters were still, like, basically attacking anything that wasn't in league with them.
Well, maybe
In Prime Hunters, so...
he might be very, I don't know, he might have defected, you never know, because the space pirates have been smart in the past, so they might have
That's true.
swayed him, I guess. But yeah, that was...
Yeah.
That is a loose end. Maybe, if I kind of want to Frankenstein our ideas, there we go, like, have that kind of unfold as you go along these bounties, or, like, you realise that he's been following you the entire time, or something like that, or you get ambushed randomly because I thought I sneaked in perfectly, or something like that, but he was actually on your tail. That would be cool.
Yeah, I also really want them to bring back the scan visor so we can get more optional lore, because that was one of my
Yes.
favorite things about the Prime games. Like,
Oh, yeah.
one thing that will always stick with me is when you find the data log regarding the space pirates testing out Samus's suit
Oh, yeah.
functions with their own, and they try out the morph ball, and it turns out they snap their own
yeah,
spines
they
in half and
they
killed
end
the
up
4
having
people. It's
mangled
like,
pirates.
science team has wisely decided to move on.
Yeah, I love that. That will always be my favourite data log in any fucking game ever. Because, like,
Yes.
just, we ended up accidentally mangling our pirates. Oops. Like,
Yeah.
that's fantastic. I love that. It always makes me laugh.
Yeah, and they also, like, they try to keep an eye on her, and it's like, hey, she's moving through the vents, someone should probably do something about this.
Yeah, yeah, but they never do. Because they're useless, really. But,
Yeah.
I'm just hyped to see where it goes. I'm hyped to see... Well, there's also one thing I'm very curious about. How are they gonna... What excuse are they gonna come up with this time to take away all of Samus's items?
Yeah.
She trips.
If it's going...
It can't get
like,
any worse than
my guess is
throwing her
that if
against
it's...
the wall.
Ugh.
Yeah, my guess is that it's if they are actually going and planning on making it take place after
She
Fusion,
gets shot down by
they'll
the
have it to
Galactic
where,
Federation.
like, yeah, like, I'm thinking that they'll have it to where, like, she has a couple of moments where she's attacked throughout her journey by the Galactic Federation, and they've figured out ways to shut down some of the functions of her armor, so now she has to go and restore them as well as fend them off.
Or, actually,
making her a lot more vulnerable.
Thinking about that, like, if it is taking place after that, because she's on the run from the Galactic Federation, maybe she's purposefully not going in, like, she's going incognito, so she's not going all out because, well, even though she could kill them all by herself, because, dude, this chick has destroyed how many planets now?
Yeah. Oh, the entire game. She's just constantly
Yeah.
thinking, don't blow up the planet,
Don't-
don't blow up the planet, don't blow up the planet.
People live here. Yeah,
I know it's fun and a staple, but I have to hold back.
okay, yeah, that's an important thing. Is she going to blow a planet this time?
I mean, it's a
Callan
Metroid game,
Wars
sad
had
if
it
she
too
doesn't,
long.
probably. And the first
Fuck
proper
it,
Metroid
blow
game
up
in a
the
while.
galaxy. But yeah, I suppose we've spoken enough about Metroid at this point. So another
I
big
wish
thing
I could
that's
say
coming-
more, which just
Oh,
proves
yeah.
I need to play more of the Metroid games, but
Yeah.
yeah.
You do. But
I
moving on,
do.
we have another big thing, another sequel, Bayonetta 3.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I love Bayonetta so much. It's great. But
It's like, I
some
love
of-
Bayonetta, but I really need to sit down and play the games properly.
they're hard.
Play 2, then play 1.
I mean, I've got both for
yeah.
the Switch, because when I bought 2 for the Switch, it came to the download for 1
Two,
anyway,
it comes.
so, yeah.
Yeah. For me, like when we got the teaser trailer, we saw that she was either getting beaten up or shot at, and then she ends up flying and into like a wall or crashing through and then hitting something. She doesn't look in a good way. She's not in a good way from what we saw. But
Yeah.
I'm just curious to see what's happening next. That's all I can.
What's kind of interesting about the trailers I've noticed is that the first trailer she's cocky and like, yeah, I can do this. These guys are nothing. The second one she seems evenly matched by her opponents at some points.
And this time,
and now she's seems like she's getting overpowered.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering what she's gonna get to go up against this one.
Yeah, maybe it's the devil himself. Nah.
I'm surprised.
But like that.
I mean, she can beat Rodon. She can probably meet Satan. So
Yeah, Satine. No, but yeah, it would be interesting to see, without doubt. Unfortunately, we don't really know that much. We can only predict what might happen. But I like the way they've done it with how was cocky, and now she was evenly matched, and now she's overpowered. I like how it's kind of a power move. I like how they're doing it. But unfortunately, we don't really know that much. I suppose we should have to wait and see, because same with Metroid Prime 4, like we were only teased. Now I think we're going to get like a proper trailer this time, maybe some gameplay because of the distance between trailers. But we don't know yet.
Yeah, I mean, I just love to see where they go. Like, again, with a lot of these series, like, I obviously we don't have specific release dates for like Bayonetta 3 or Metro Prime 4, but I want to try and at least play the games that came before it. Like with Metroid, if only the Metroid Prime games before 3 comes out, but definitely want to get Bayonetta 1 and 2 done before 3 comes out.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Again, play 2 before 1.
Yeah. I have to.
And I have heard people gush over 2 a lot.
Yeah, one's
well, 2's just better designed than 1. Like, for example, 1's got a lot of really cool-looking bosses, and they nail the spectacle, but the fights themselves aren't that great.
Yeah.
2 manages to handle them a lot better.
I've heard the story in both Bayonetta games really isn't that interesting.
I wouldn't say that. I found
at least
it
in the first one, like, yeah.
There's parts of 1 that are a bit like, oh, it's good to know that now, and it's a bit kind of weird and convoluted, but it's kind of like Devil May Cry in a way, because there's things that are there that you aren't told that you basically add up yourself. But yeah. Other than that, we don't really know much. Just hope to see more, which I'm assuming we will. I'm going to move on, but also back, because we've been seeing Octopath well, I think, isn't Octopath Traveler exclusive to Switch?
I've only really seen it on the Switch.
I think it might be
the store. Yeah, it's coming under Nintendo as a publisher, so yeah, I imagine so.
Yeah. Okay. So
for just Nintendo Switch.
If we don't see any more Octopath Traveler on Square Enix's side, we'll probably see it here. Which again, to go off on Octopath Traveler again, it's so much of it I love, because I'm into my JRPGs like crazy. I love the Final Fantasy 7. Well, Final Fantasy 7. It's only because it's right next to me. The Final Fantasy series, I love 6 so much, and this reminds me of 6 in certain ways of how the characters emote in the 16-bit like ways that they are. Like, you can see so much emotion in a 16-bit character. It's insane. But they do it with a mix of realistic lighting, 2D, but it's also 3D. I love, and there's like hidden secrets they can do with that now. Like when I've played the demo, there's like secrets hidden around corners because of the 3D aspect, and I love that as a result.
I do like that sort of idea, how you like sort of, it all depends on perspective to how you find secrets.
It is brilliant. Like just from the demo itself, I am satisfied with the product already, and like from now on, like when the game does come out, I'm going to put so much time into that.
Well, again, you haven't got long to wait, because apparently it comes out on July 13th, so yeah.
Woohoo! That's if we...
There is one thing I'm kind of hoping they don't do with it, though, and it's kind of a thing that the series is pretty well known for, sadly. Invisible paths.
Oh, I really hope they don't do that.
Like, I love 4, 6, and 9 to death. They are my favorite Final Fantasy games.
You're right.
But I hate invisible paths. Like,
It's the worst.
so many instances where I've just accidentally stumbled across them. It's like, oh, would have helped if I had that on my first playthrough.
Yeah, it would, yeah. I think Pokemon does that as well. Like, oh, I wonder what route this is going to take me to. Oh, a wall, okay. But all those encounters meant nothing.
They're not as...
Gen 1.
Yeah.
Like, they're not as bad with it, though, as Final Fantasy.
Oh,
like, I know
yeah,
that games like Mega Man Battle Network and Star Force have them as well, but they're, but that's really not that much better.
I just like to
still,
be
Pokemon is,
rewarded
probably the best with them.
Yeah. I like to be rewarded for my curiosity, that's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when it's like, hey, walk through this area that looks like a solid wall, that's where I draw the line.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Bless you.
Yeah, but that's if we see anything to do with Octopath Traveler. I think if we're going to see it, it'll be here. Other than that, we've talked about it already, so let's move on, I think.
But what else is there for Nintendo? Actually, I know. There's the new
Crash.
Yoshi game.
Oh, yeah, and Yoshi. So let's talk about Yoshi a bit. The only game I've ever played to do with Yoshi is Super Mario World 2. Never played anything else. I know the sequel to it on the 3DS was stupid because he took them to the wrong house or some shit.
Yeah, it is. There is some
it's
shit
just
there.
really
But
bad.
Yoshi's
Ruined
Island
the
is a
fucking
fantastic game, though.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, Yoshi's Island is great, just don't 100%
Nope.
it.
It's a case of, like, you just don't get anything for it, really.
Well, you get an extra level. You get
No, you do get something, it's just that it's really
hard.
like the reward's not all that
Yeah.
great, or in the case of the GBA version, really, really cruel.
Oh yeah, don't get me
That's the
started.
version I grew up with, the GBA version,
Uh,
which for some
Don't.
reason is the one they have on
Yeah.
the Wii U Virtual Console.
Why?
which kills me because the SNES version is so much better.
Much better.
Like, not only from the music standpoint, but from the screen resolution.
Yeah.
It is so easy to miss a Shy Guy that's carrying a red coin, and more often than not, I don't know a Shy Guy has a red coin in the area until I hear the sound it makes when it's leaving.
Yeah, which
But-
And if it leaves, it doesn't come back, and you have to restart the entire level.
But of course,
Yeah.
the one thing that, like, doesn't matter which version you're playing about and how annoying it is the fucking baby.
Yeah.
No one will ever forget those cries.
I mean, it's effective for giving you a reason to go back and save him,
that fucking baby.
but...
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oh, and it
um,
ruins your 100% streak as well, so that's great.
Yeah, it does.
Well, you can get more stars as long as it's like not right before the end of the level.
Yeah, if it is, you're fucked.
Well, actually, no. You if you have items that can restore your stars, you're fine in that case. If you don't, well, good luck.
Other than that, yeah, I'm imagining it's going to be a platformer. I don't think it's going to be anything like Woolly World. It might be, but I suppose we just have to wait and see. There's a lot of that with Nintendo at the moment. It's just wait and see because we haven't really talked
Yeah.
about it. We've just teased it. Like,
Because, like, the
it's
Yoshi...
it's a clever way, but yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I was just saying, the Yoshi game, I'm trying to remember what was announced. I think it was E3 last year, but we haven't
It was.
heard anything about it since.
It's a case of that. We might get gameplay. It will probably get. Honestly, that's what I think Nintendo are quite clever with how they did it. Like with what they did announce, they are going to they didn't show gameplay, but now this year they will show gameplay. So they timed it. I think they played it really well. By the way, yes, we're saving the big one for last. Don't you worry.
I'm not
Well-
sure what the big one is.
We talked for 2 hours on it. I think you know.
Oh, yes. Now I remember.
Yeah. Other than that, is wait and see for Yoshi. But this is actually one thing I would like, and this is me. And I know a certain someone from Brain Scratch also wants this very much. His name is Ryan, and I have to side with him on this one. Where the fuck is F-Zero?
Yes, F-Zero for the Switch.
Please, God.
Yeah.
Like, yes, it's nice that you put some tracks and some elements in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, but it's not exactly the same, is it?
Can you actually give... I mean, you gave Star Fox a new game, despite how people might look at it, but come on, just give F-Zero another chance, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I haven't played too many...
I'm not really that big of an F-Zero guy, but I understand how it feels when you're trying, like, just desperately awaiting a sequel.
It was like... if you
So-
look at my reaction to Metroid Prime 4, that is what I'm expecting for, like, people who are desperate. Like, that was the wait for me. Like, I feel so bad for how long people have waited for a new F-Zero, but
Yeah.
I understand how painful it is. And
Yeah, I agree with that. So, like, again, I'm with Robert
Yeah.
on this, where it's like, I'm not exactly a massive F-Zero fan. I've not really played the games, but I would really like another one because they look like really fun races. And at this point, people know Captain Falcon more from Smash Brothers than they do F-Zero.
Yes.
No, you mean yes.
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 Oh fuck, no, not Seymour.
Captain Seymour.
Captain
Tom.
Seymour.
That's pretty
yeah.
funny.
But yeah.
Yeah, it's just weird to me that they're making a Star Fox racing game apparently.
That's a rumor.
Before an
I'm
F-Zero
not,
game.
I'm not sure about. Yeah, that's what I've heard, but
Yeah, it is a rumor, but if that actually is real, that's a little bit odd.
and like a horrible decision because you
I've
have a
not heard
dedicated
about this.
racing game. Don't choose fucking Star Fox for that. Choose F-Zero.
Yeah,
I've not heard about this.
yeah, I know they had that Star Fox character in GX, but it's Star Fox. It's not a racing
Exactly,
series.
yeah.
This is news to me.
But yeah, it's a rumor. We don't know how much water it holds until E3, I suppose. But
Yeah.
that's just one thing I'd like. But let's talk more about Mega Man 11 because I think if they're going to show it, it might either be at Sony or here.
Yeah, I mean, Mega Man, his
Yeah.
roots were from Nintendo, so it would make more sense here, but again, it's cross-platform,
Okay.
so...
There's one thing I want to bring
Yeah,
up about 11 real quick. It was great that it's coming. I'm happy that it's happening. It's about time.
How,
But-
Mighty Number 9, how, who's the dead one?
but I think Rob, you're gonna agree with me on this one. When we saw the trailer, yeah, we were all freaking out, and then we started to analyze it, and then we saw that fucking walking animation and how horrible it was. If they,
It was bad, but it's an early
terrible.
development type
yeah,
thing.
I know it's still early
I
development.
think
but
they're,
my God.
I think they're gonna fix it.
Oh yeah, because everyone.
And even then, it's not like the worst thing ever.
Oh yeah,
so.
still like. I'm just hyped to see more of it, to be honest, because we've
I mean,
seen
I
some
didn't- I
mini
didn't
bosses
Like,
and
this is
stuff.
you know?
But yeah,
It's
well,
been...
Yeah.
I kind of
Like,
did,
this
but
is-
it's just like, wow, they actually did do it, you know?
I mean, it's been 8 years since Mega Man 10 came out.
Christ.
And again, Mighty Number 9 was meant to be that spiritual successor, but it didn't really work.
And we all cried like anime fans on prom night.
But
There's
yeah,
your meme, bitches.
again, I'm not a huge sort of... I'm not a big huge Mega Man guy. Like, I haven't really played enough of the series to comment on it. But what
So,
I played...
You
it
played
was pretty-
Mighty Number 9.
Yeah, Mighty Number 9 is the best Mega Man game.
So,
Oh, don't even joke about
yeah,
that.
that don't even, yeah.
Mighty Number 9 can't hold a candle to Mega Man. Like, it tries to be, but it absolutely fails to understand any of what made Mega Man Mega Man.
Completely.
Beyond, like, the basic movement, attack, and how it ultimately
I bet,
kind of plays, like the jump and shoot and all that. That's basically all
I
it is.
bet, like, Mega Man 11's going to do really well, and Keiji Inafune is going to cry like an anime fan on prom night. I
This-
didn't
Why
mean
did I
to
do
go
this to
there,
my
but
series?
yeah. Well, he I think it's kind of a dumbed down version of the whole Konami situation, right? Or am I just looking into that too much?
I mean,
It's somewhat like that, from what I've heard.
I mean, he essentially...
It's not to the extent, though,
Yeah,
that Konami went to, but it is...
similar.
Like, it's a lesser version of
Yeah.
that at most.
I mean, it's like, it's essentially a case of he took people's money, said he was going to make something great with it, and at first it looked really promising, and just gave a shit for it.
We're still meant to get that Mighty Number 9 TV show.
Yeah. Which amazes me, considering how poor the reception for the game was.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
Like, there's no chance it's happening, in my opinion.
It's like, with that many delays and that much money put into it, and the original screenshots for the game, there's no excuse for the quality that it was.
Like, and his
Yeah.
excuse that he gave was pathetic. Like, it's better than
Yeah,
nothing.
Like,
no
and
way.
like to give an example of how much you could easily do with the amount of money he had. A game that I actually have been recently playing through, Dust and Elysian Tale. I think that was like $40,000 on Kickstarter, and that game not only looks better, sounds better, and feels better, it just all around is a much better and more stable experience.
Yeah.
It's a great time.
And
Mighty Number 9 can
No.
barely even be called passable.
Yeah, like, and even the Wii U version doesn't fucking work.
oh god, I feel
Oh, the
so
Wii U
bad.
version's horrible.
I feel so bad for the people who bought the Wii U version.
Yeah. Like, I haven't even wasted my money, and, like, even if it is free on, like, PlayStation Network or something for a week, it's still too much.
It's too much
Yeah.
console space to take up.
Yeah, exactly.
I still remember when the game first came out, like, the Wii U version had rumors of being bricked. The the PlayStation version had where the colors weren't loading properly. The PC version, the computers were recognizing the game as a virus, and even people with like an i3 or i4 processor
I fucking
weren't
forgot
able to
about
get
that.
the game to run.
I forgot about the
Like,
virus
I
thing.
think the Xbox 360 version was the only one, which came far later, by the way,
Yeah.
that actually was half decent.
Yeah.
And even that still like got a lot of problems
Yeah.
from what I'm told.
I
So-
fucking forgot about the whole it being recognized as a virus thing. That's fucking hilarious.
It's a case of, it's just such a case of, just something we hyped so much, and what we got was just a huge disappointment.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even with me, like I was looking at it when it was first announced. I was like, okay, there's only one person from Capcom who's working on this, and that's Keiji Inafune.
For what I could tell, he was. Just
I'm
a
not
writer
expecting
on
the
this,
game
so,
to be
yeah.
amazing or up to the par with Mega Man, but I'm expecting it to at least be decent.
Yeah.
Like something I'll occasionally go back to, and it couldn't even be that.
It's like with Ukulele, how it had former employees of Rare work on it.
Hmm.
I would say Ukulele is better than 90 Number 9,
It
though.
looks
Yeah.
pretty fun, Ukulele. I've got it, but I haven't played it yet. But it looks pretty fun.
It's very. It's like it literally is Banjo though. That like everything I've seen from it is basically Banjo.
Yeah.
It's just under a different name.
But I mean, as long as I have fun with the game, I'm all good.
Exactly. Yeah. Doesn't matter really.
Yeah,
But I suppose we should.
having fun's the most important part.
Yeah. But I don't want to spend too much time on this one, but we all know Crash is coming to Switch. I think we're going to see a bit, like, maybe a little bit of a showcase on there. Or, like, do we know when that one's coming out, or no?
I think it comes out in July, actually.
Okay.
July
so
or June. Let me
there-
look up, because there was a post on Twitter saying you can pre-order it now, so I
Yeah.
imagine it's...
There may be,
Yeah. Let me just
yeah,
check.
there may be a potentiality, where we won't see anything on it, but if... we might get a small showcase saying, hey...
Yeah, June 29th for PC, Switch, and Xbox One.
Okay, we might not see
Ah.
it then. But it's just maybe it's something cool to say. Hey, remember we got Crash coming? Woohoo!
I mean, really, because it would be a case of we'd only be seeing stuff we've already seen before, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think there'd be
Yeah.
anything new, really. I mean, I'll get
Yeah,
it
but-
again just because I'd like to play these kind of games portably, but
Well, yeah. I mean, they might show off like, hey, if you do this amiibo, you can have Crash wear Mario's hat or something like that,
that'd be cool.
or have Coco be in Peach's outfit or some shit like that, or color scheme.
Yeah, like what they did with Bayonetta, you know, for like the, you know, for the Wii U
Yeah.
and Switch versions.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, that'd be pretty
But yeah, like I said, I didn't want to spend too much time on that because, yeah.
But I'm still looking
Um,
forward to it because I love Insane Trilogy, so, you know.
Oh yeah, definitely. Another.
It's a really good looking game.
It's
Oh,
so
it's beautiful.
beautiful.
Oh.
It's amazing. But again, enough gushing on Crash. We did that enough last year. Another thing that's upcoming. Go on, Tom.
Sorry, I was just going to say that there was one thing, I mean, I suppose we probably won't get anything about it because it's sort of been and gone, and I doubt we'd get DLC for it, but I don't know if we'd get anything else from Mario Odyssey.
Maybe. I don't know.
Like,
I think we might get something related to Sunshine, probably.
That's what
Because
I'm
we have a
thinking.
Super Mario 64 Kingdom, so I wouldn't be surprised if we got
It would be
Isle
nice.
Delfino or something like
Because
that.
it is on the map, so that's a possibility.
it is, like, I mean, and obviously you can get the Sunshine outfit as well, so, you know, that's cool.
Although
Yeah.
I'd really rather not go back.
But, yeah.
Well, the game, like, the hubs are fine, it's
No,
just
the thing is, though, if
what
we
you
do go
have
back,
to do for some
if
of
we
those.
do go back, you know for a fact that it won't be a weird purple coin that you had to get. It'll be a fucking blue coin.
Yeah,
You know
that's
they would
exactly
do
what I'm
that, just as a
expecting.
joke.
Why would you do this to me?
And to rub it in, they'd probably do 240 again, but have them be a lot closer
I don't
together.
think they'll go that far.
If they did do it, I'm not gonna make you sick, but that's a possibility. I'd like it.
Mario's a game where it doesn't really need, like, story expansions for DLC.
Yeah, it doesn't really need anything.
There's
It's-
enough shit to do in Mario
Yeah.
Odyssey, like, once you've beaten the main quest anyway, so... really-
Considering
Yeah.
you know, because you actually recently, today actually, you got the last listed moon, right?
I did, I got the last listed moon on the thing, but I still need to get the whole thing up to 999 power star.
Yeah, like I said,
Power moons, I need to call them power stars.
yeah. well, to be fair, in the Mario Kingdom, they are Power Stars.
Yeah,
but
Power
they still
Stars.
call them moons.
Which I really liked.
Like, all you have to do now is just go shopping for a bit.
Pretty
I'm
much.
sure you have enough coins.
Yeah. I mean, I basically just sort of played the shit out of Balloon World for a bit, which is surprisingly really
that's how I
fun.
max my coins multiple times in order to buy all the costumes.
It's amazing how fun Balloon World actually is.
When someone's not putting it out of bounds, that
Yeah.
is.
Oh,
I'm going to admit
fucking hackers.
I may have done it once,
Yeah.
but also
You fucking
there
hacker.
is no. It's actually there's a simple way to do it. But
You
no.
fucking hacker.
There is actually another one that I placed. It did get popped eventually, but it's a big dick move, and I saw it on Twitter. It's in the Sand Kingdom, or I can't remember the one that was like freezing to begin with. I can't remember the name of it. But
Yeah, that is the Sand Kingdom.
Okay.
I don't remember if that's the actual name, but
Yeah.
that's the one you're talking
yeah,
about.
but you remember how the pyramid ends up being upside down, and then floating in midair? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, the starting point is on top where you can possess the glidey guy, but there's also an electric wire that you can go up to the top of the pyramid. You can long jump. If you angle yourself, you can long jump and then land in where the entrance used to be. So you end up going... It's really difficult to describe. So imagine an upside down triangle and like a little alcove right at the tip of where the triangle is upside down. You can long jump, if you angle yourself right, you long jump from the top of that triangle, of the upside down triangle, curl yourself round and then land in the tip of where the triangle is upside down, floating in midair. I may have put the balloon there.
Holy cow.
It took me a good number of tries and then eventually got popped, but to be fair, other people have done it too, and it was fun.
I mean, admittedly, when I play Balloon World, I usually just go for Find It, because I'm not that creative when it comes to placing the balloons in places. But,
Yeah.
yeah, again, I'm probably going to use that to get a lot of the coins to buy all the costumes and to get all the Power Moons.
Well, the other Power Moons you had to do. And I will admit, I didn't actually put any of the... You can actually put... get to a point where your Power Moons go past the screen. I did do that with when I bought a few, and that was fun.
That's...
Because it's the weight of having all of them go in.
Yeah.
It's great.
I mean, I thought it would just go to like 50
Yeah.
or something, but
Nope.
it just keeps going and going.
Yeah, but that's a potentiality for Mario Odyssey. But another thing I have listed here, Travis Strikes Again. Oh my god!
Oh
I
yeah,
need,
the No More Heroes
I need
3?
prequel. Yeah, it's No More Heroes 3, but it's called Travis Strikes Again. But I believe it's a prequel. Everything's a fucking prequel nowadays.
Like
but
I said earlier.
Yeah, like you said earlier, but it's another No More Heroes game. I like the No More Heroes series, and I'm just glad we're seeing Travis again, because as long as I hear that main theme again, oh my god.
I have not played them, but I do want to. It's just a matter of finding the fucking games.
Yeah, they are kind of like that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's just... I mean, Travis seems like a really sort of funny character. Just my favourite line, just from what I've seen so far, is the one where he's just like, okay, how about this? If I become the best, will you do it with me?
That's the kind of character Travis is.
I love that line. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of Dante in a way.
Yeah. But it's...
But-
they look like really fun games, but it's just... like I say, finding
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Go
But
for online.
we've
Yeah. Good luck with that.
we've seen some elements of Travis Strikes Again, but it looked like mini games or some shit like that. So unless we see because I'm guessing it's more of a main story that has little mini games in it or something like that. I'm just looking forward to see what's coming from Travis again.
Yeah. Is he still
so-
trying to be the best?
Like no one ever was. Get it? It's Nintendo.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, though, that brings up a fair point. Pokemon for the
Wait.
Switch.
Wait, we're gonna leave that because that's the next big one before the big one.
Fair enough.
There's one thing I do want to bring up because it's the last thing before the two big ones. We got an announcement for it, but we haven't seen anything else. I'm sure they might showcase it a little bit more. Luigi's Mansion remake on the 3DS. Let
That
the
is true.
3DS die, please, and also
I
I
suppose like,
believe
there's
they're
Captain Toad as well. Because you love Captain Toad, Keiran.
Ignore that. And if you do a Toad voice, I'm going to hit you over Skype.
Hello!
I'm going to hit you over Skype and when we next see each other. So here's this. This is for you, Tom. Yeah, nice waveform for me. But yeah, and
Enjoy
also
editing
the.
that.
I will. There's the Paper Mario. Well, not Paper Mario. Actually, fuck it. I'd love a new Paper Mario.
That'd be
There's also
Yeah.
the Mario and Luigi re-releases that I'm looking forward to.
I mean,
I am really looking forward
I
to
really
that.
don't
Like,
get
I've heard a
why
lot of
they
people
announced
complain
that
about how. Yeah, I've heard some people complain about how Partners in Time definitely should have gotten the remake treatment, and I agree because it had a lot of problems that needed fixing.
Yeah, it did. Oh,
But
I don't have a problem.
at the same time, here's my stance on it: we're getting an arranged version of In the Final from Bowser's Inside Story.
How
Like, we're getting an even better version of that.
finally, yes. Anything to make a game that it was good anyway, but make it better. Hell yeah.
Yeah, and that theme is still one of the best final boss themes in any video game I've ever heard.
Like, if you haven't heard it, just look it up. That's all you gotta do. Look it up, man.
the thing I just don't get is just why was the remake announced now when it's not even coming out until 2019?
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that one.
I just don't get it.
Yeah, the timing was odd.
Although, like, I wouldn't be surprised if they just said "psych" and then just said it's coming December or some shit like that.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be more.
December 31st, 11:59 p.m.
I mean, I'd be more hyped if they announced something like a Thousand Year Door remake.
Oh, don't fucking tempt me.
That'd be nice. I mean, I've not played a Thousand Year Door, but I'd love to play a remake of it.
What?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, no, you have to.
No.
Oh, Thousand Year Door is so good.
Tom,
Have you seen how much
I'm
it
actually-
goes?
Like,
I am hashtag
there are
shook.
Have you seen how
there are
much it
5
goes
Mario
for
RPGs
for
you
UK
should play.
prices?
Emulate.
I understand that, but there are 5 Mario RPGs you should play at some point in your life.
And one of them,
Superstar Saga, Bowser's Inside Story, the original Mario RPG on the SNES, Paper Mario 1, and of course, Thousand Year Door.
It's like, again, like,
okay, I have to say thank you for not saying Sticker Star, because fuck that game.
Oh, I've played a bit of
no.
Sticker Star, and it's just so boring.
But what about Color
Someone
Splash?
told me that the nostalgia for Sticker Star was purely, or the hate for Sticker Star was purely nostalgia fueled.
No.
As someone who made it through World 3, I don't understand what that person's idea of fun is.
Yeah.
Because, good lord.
It's
But
not
what about
nostalgia.
Color Splash?
It's not nostalgia. The game's just fucking boring.
Yeah. Like that.
That, and it's really poorly structured. Like,
Yeah.
as soon as I came across the first section where I had to make use of invisible coin blocks, which had no way of conveying to the player that they even existed, in order to progress, I immediately just put the game down, because I'm like, I'm not dealing with that.
Yeah.
That's just
Bad.
unfair.
I mean, and the worst thing you could do in a
like,
video
you
game
need a guide
is,
to figure
is
that
bore
out.
me
Be
anyway. But
Yeah,
when you
like-
bore me in an RPG, oh boy.
Oof, yeah, like the thing is,
Yeah, like,
I've always said it.
the last thing...
I'll let you continue, and I'm gonna let you finish. But no, classic meme. Blah, 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 blah. The worst thing you can do in any game ever, especially RPGs, because of how big they are. But like, if a game is bad, like Sonic 06, that game is trash as shit. But I can make fun of it, and I can have
But it's
fun
not
as a
boring.
result.
It's not boring.
It's not boring.
Yeah, like,
I can get
the game's infamous, but it still has some level of intrigue to it.
Exactly, and
It's like
if
The
a game
Room.
is just bad, like Metroid Other M, the only reason that game gets so much shtick is because of the story. That game, well, the game is fun, but some things are bullshit. There are other games that are really, 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 really bad that I can laugh at. Superman 64. That game has been played way too many times just because everyone knows how bad it is. If it wasn't for that, it would not be played at all. But if a game is boring, I cannot make fun of it.
That could be sometimes worse than a bad game.
No, it is worse.
Yeah.
If you bore me, I am never going to touch your thing again.
Exactly.
I'm never going. It's like if I'm not invested and I'm bored, I'm returning your game. Just don't do that to me, because if I'm not invested in what you're trying to sell me, then no.
It's like Sticker Star. it bored me. And
Yeah.
when you play a video
It's an
game,
RPG.
you don't want to get bored. You want to have fun. You want to escape from the harsh, cruel reality you live in.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. In Sticker Star's case for me, though, it's like there are moments where it has some genuine charm and some good
Oh,
ideas.
of course, because it's a
But
Mario
when
game.
you're throwing,
It's like, I love the
yeah,
art
but
style
like when you're
of
throwing a
the Paper Mario games, so there's nothing wrong there. But it's boring. Sticker Star is boring.
yeah. Like the thing is though, like when you get to a situation where you are so confused on what to do that you just have to randomly start jumping around and hitting stuff in hopes that something will happen, and the only thing that does is you find an invisible coin block, which again had no indication even existed in that area.
That's bullshit.
You've royally screwed up your
That
game.
is fucked.
Do you know what that reminds me of, though? Fucking Super Mario Brothers 2, The Lost Levels. Where you
Is exactly
where
like
you
that,
run
yeah.
into that
'Cause
giant
you have to hit
fucking wall where, like, okay, how do I get up this? Jump randomly. Yeah.
Yeah,
Again,
and you have to hit the coin
again,
blocks in
thank you,
order to progress, but there's nothing letting you know that
Exactly.
they're there.
That's
Like,
one of my favorite
don't-
moments.
Yeah, don't.
It's
yeah.
cheap design.
Don't ever do that, especially with Mario. Come on, you're better than that, dude.
Exactly.
But other than that, but again, all right. Moving on now. Everyone, it was announced. It wasn't teased in a teaser trailer, but they specifically said we are doing a new mainline Pokemon game for the Switch. Okay, are we going to get like a teaser thing like we did with Metroid Prime 4 or Bayonetta 3 this time? Or are we going to get a little bit more than that? Are we going to get like a title for it and maybe a flash of gameplay? Do you think that's going to happen this time?
I think it's
And
very
what are your
possible.
predictions for the name?
I think it's very possible that we are going to get some more news, because when did they actually announce that they were I think it was like around this
Last
sort of
E3.
time last year that they were making a Pokemon game for the Switch.
Yeah.
It was last.
Yeah, around this time last year when they did that Pokemon Direct. But yeah, I think it's very likely because there's been a lot of rumors coming out about the
Yeah,
game.
okay. Let's talk about that for a second. I'm not too privy on the facts about this one. All I know is apparently there were rumors about something being like something to do with Eevee, maybe a Pikachu or something, and where it said
Yeah.
something about Pokemon Go, and like that was a bit like I thought this was meant to be a mainstream title,
Not Pokemon,
Pokemon
Go for the
game.
Switch.
like
Like I've actually seen what you're talking about, and apparently it's called Let's Go Pokemon Eevee and Let's Go Pokemon Pikachu. Like there'll be two versions, and apparently they're supposed to be remakes of Kanto again.
again.
So I'm not sure if this is like a hard reboot of the series or if it's just like a new spin on it or something.
Well, I mean, usually most
Okay,
Pokemon
if-
games are separate from each other anyway, so in terms of
Okay,
a reboot,
okay.
it's hard to notice, but
All right. One,
Yeah.
remaking Kanto again. One, while I love Kanto, I want you to remake Soul Silver again, because that's the best generation, as we all know, because
See,
we are
wait,
not
you want,
fools.
you want them to
Um,
remake a remake?
Yeah, because Soul Silver
Soul
is
Silver and Heart Gold still hold up pretty well.
they
though.
are, to me, still my favorite. Although Black 2, oh my god,
Yes. Black 2 and White 2 for life.
oh my
I need to
god,
play those
what a
games
good
again.
Gen
great
5 is best
game.
gen.
But anyway,
Yeah, Gen 4 and 5 are my favorites.
like, to be honest, I would want it to be a new, like, I don't want it to be like, because we have had Generation 7 in the wave of Sun and Moon, or Ultra Sun and Moon, which are basically different games anyway. But I would want this to be Generation 8, because one, it's on the Switch. You said it was going to be on a new mainstream title. I wouldn't want you to remake Kanto again, because we've had Kanto before, and plus, you would be pissing off so many of the Gen 4 fans, because
Yeah.
we all know how up in arms they are. Ted
Yeah.
gets that a lot.
It's like you
If you know
remade...
if you know what we
one
know,
and two.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I myself kind of want a Gen 4 remake because, like, as much as I think Platinum is like the definitive way to play through the Sinnoh
It's
region, it's still got problems, and it is ultimately the worst with HMs. Like Defog and Rock Climb, I
Yeah.
will always hate those moves.
Agreed, and from everything I've seen, it, because I did play it for a bit, and I'll be honest, like the whole thing we were talking about being bored, it bored me, and in a Pokemon game, that's the worst thing you can possibly do, because I love Pokemon, and I don't want to be bored in it.
Yeah. I can see that, because its pacing is really, really slow.
Yeah, it's a lot slower, and that's one of the reasons why I like Crystal so much. Like, if we're going, like, that's my favorite Gen 2 version, because you obviously you have Silver and Gold, but they also have, like, the Definitive Edition. That's what a Definitive Edition is, Square Enix. Crystal. I love that game. Thank you, Kefka. I'm guessing Kefka is now the one who runs Square Enix.
Not so much Kefka, more Jim Carrey in Ace Ventura.
Oh, so Kefka. But like, I would want it to be a brand new generation. I don't know what they would call it, but I'd love to see it. I wouldn't want it to be Kanto again. Like, if they do that, it would just be super playing it safe. But the thing is, they've technically already done it, if you think about it. X and Y are basically...
Fire Red and Leaf Green.
No, X and Y, they're basically exactly the fucking same.
Yeah,
they're giant homages to the Gen 1
And
games.
not only that, like, the areas are almost note for note. Like, the first forest you run into...
Gen 1 Pokemon as well, so it's like...
Not only that, but listen, the first forest area is almost exactly laid out the same way as Viridian Forest. Like, the first, like, thing, if you go to the left, there's an item there, just like in Gen 1. Like, I was like, what, we're doing this again? And, like, the first bird Pokemon I ran into was Pidgey, which was like, okay, I didn't know we were playing Gen 1 again in 3D.
Yeah,
they played that game.
Like the past...
X and Y are great games. They are not completely note for note, but they did play it very safe, and I had a very easy time with it as well.
Yeah, like, the thing is, for me, Nintendo's been throwing back to Kanto a lot lately, like, for the past 5 years. My biggest concern is that, like, if this isn't just all build-up for the new Switch games, which could very well be the Kanto games, that this may be Nintendo ultimately going and trying to just bank off nostalgia by using Kanto a whole bunch, and that's something I really hope isn't the case, because... Like, Kanto is not my favorite region. I still grew up with it, though, because Fire Red was my first game, and it holds a lot of value to me as a result of that. But the thing is, I'm worried that it might end up being, like, sort of like the Green Hill Zone from Sonic the Hedgehog. You know, people have seen it so many times, they are no longer viewing it as a nostalgic point, but now it's like, this again type moment.
This again, like, fucking... Sonic is probably the best example, because Green Hill, again. Come on.
Forces alone.
Yeah,
Forces alone, you play through Green Hill 8 times. 9 if you count Episode Shadow. That's kind of ridiculous.
And we're not just talking about Forces. We had Generations for that. And not only that, we ended up having Sonic
like
Mania.
Generations...
And if you want to talk about every single party game that's had some sort of reference to Green Hill, you know?
I'd never want to see Green Hill ever again.
Because, like, Generations at least had the excuse of being a celebration of Sonic's past, but... we've seen it so many times that it does nothing for anybody.
What really annoyed me about
we're
Mania,
bored of it.
I brought this up with Tom, but Izuka, he was the reason why we had the old zones again. It was his fault. He said, let's bring the old zones back. Again? Yeah, again. He was the reason why there wasn't more original zones. Damn it, Izuka.
Yeah.
I like Izuka. I like you,
I kind of
understand.
I kind of understand his mentality, because it's like, hey, 2D game, a lot of people who are Sonic fans tend to, like, from the classic era, really haven't played much of the 3D games, so maybe they'll view this as a nice thing, but there are so many people who are modern fans that it really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's stuff that we've seen a million times.
It's just...
Like, there are just as many modern fans as classic fans at this point, so...
Yeah. But... if it is a brand new generation, and it is very much like, new games, one, like, some Pokemon something. I can't say Pokemon X or Y because we actually have had those. But what would you think they would call it? Because it's so difficult, and plus they've used so many different things now.
Yeah, like gemstones.
Yeah. No, it's too difficult now. Like, I bet they've had trouble trying to figure it out. But if it is, well, I don't want to. We've already kind of gone off on the fact that it's Kanto remix already. But I'm trying to think if it is something new. Pokemon.
Something generic like Pokemon Switch, but no.
Yeah.
I mean, you say that, but that might happen.
Yeah.
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 Dude, I fucking want Pokemon Snap HD on a Switch. That would be so good. Could you imagine though? Because the Switch could be the camera. I want
That would be kind of cool.
I want that. No. No. They already have that. They wouldn't implement that. I'd just want to take pictures.
Yeah.
But
That said, though, if this is actually a remake of Kanto, I do hope they at least do more with it.
yeah,
Like, beyond just, hey, here's the region again. Like, you know how Fire Red and Leaf Green had the Sevi Islands?
yeah, I'd want them to do more.
something like that. Like,
Dude.
give us a post-game that's a lot more interesting and
Do you know what
in-depth.
would
Like,
be cool?
the last
Oh
time
my
we had-
god! I've just had an amazing idea. If it is the Kanto remix, it's a Kanto remake. The post game is Red's journey to Mount Silver for Generation 2, and then you encounter.
That'd be kind of cool.
That would be amazing. And then you encounter.
I would also.
I don't know.
I would also like them to have a little bit more in terms of just other stuff to do, because like the battle facilities in the recent games are mostly what you have left, aside from completing the Pokedex
Yeah.
and maybe like one or two side quests. Like, take a look at games like Platinum, Heart Gold, and Black 2 and White 2.
Oh yeah, they have.
The amount of stuff you could do in the post game was insane. Like,
I was shocked at.
I actually played through Black 2 again recently, and I've put more than 100 hours in the post game alone, and I still have plenty more I can still tackle that I have yet to even touch.
I was surprised at how much post game Black 2 had, because Soul Silver is still my favorite Pokemon game, because I've always loved Generation 2, and the fact that you went back to Kanto, then you had encountered you from the first game, it was like, oh my god, mind blow. Like, I know it did that, but Soul Silver did it in a much more refined way. But with Black 2, I was surprised about how much there was, because Soul Silver had loads too. Well, Soul Silver and just Silver in general, they had loads. But Black 2 was filled to the brim, and I was just like,
Yeah.
this is
Like, you
almost
have
on par
Pokestar
with my
Studios.
favorite. Yeah.
Yeah, like, you got Pokestar Studios, you got the Pokemon World Tournament, you've got the old returning areas from the first Black and White, you've got the memories from the... if you have the first Black and White hooked up to the second Black and White, you can actually revisit stuff and, like, get little flashbacks of things that happened with previous games and events.
Yeah.
You've got all sorts of different stuff that to offer that I haven't brought up yet, but, like, it's incredible how much you can do in those games.
It's incredible. Like,
I'd love to see another
2
game
did
tackle
so
a post game
much
like that.
right.
It did.
Yeah.
Still my favorite game in the series.
It's Soul Silver still has a warm place in my heart, but Black 2 is pretty much there too. Yeah. Keep it. Do not trade that thing in. Good. You know, like, in the shop store that we go to, CEX, which is basically a trade-in store, I found Pokemon Soul Silver with the Poke Walker and everything in it for £20 here. I went in there recently and I saw it again. Yeah, that was back. This is way back when, but I think 2011 or something like that. No, something like, I can't remember when. But I went in there not too long ago and I saw it. It was 48 this time. It's like, what? Where did the hell did the price jump up? Like, Christ. But yeah, I got it for 20, which I was chuffed with. But anyway, enough about Pokemon. Me and Tom have already talked about this for 2 hours, but we also have a guest here now, and we also have to talk about this in E3. Smash, 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 smash.
Which I'm surprised.
Yes. Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Like, that probably would have won them alone.
Yeah. Yeah. But like,
Yeah.
again, well, me and Tom have basically talked about it for 2 hours. Rob, question number 1: is it port or number 5?
I think it's going to be number 5
Agreed.
for a few reasons. One, they talked about how they have been working on this one for a little while. And 2, if you look at the trademarks for the game, you don't see, like, Namco Bandai, or Bandai Namco, rather.
Yeah.
Or any of the other, as they're, like, save for, like, 1 or 2. It's mostly just Nintendo.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, instead of this being a port, it's actually going to be something new.
And
There's also how, like, the fact that they have an updated Link from Breath of the Wild.
Yep.
I don't know if, like, that could very well be an alt, granted.
yeah,
But
that's what
it's
Tom said.
pretty likely, yeah, like, it's pretty likely that they'll end up having that as part of the new thing. And overall, I just think we need an actually new game, because even if you didn't have the Wii U version, the 3DS version, while inferior to the Wii U version, is still Smash 4, and
Yeah.
you have plenty of access to that because so many people have a 3DS, so
Yeah.
there wouldn't be much of a point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Like, the thing of the Wii U is, it has a lot of great games, but the poor marketing and just
it
so a
and
few
it
other
didn't
problems
have
really kind of
anything
killed it.
out for it straight away. Switch
Yeah.
almost had that, but it escaped that so well, because Breath of the Wild kept everyone busy, and then Odyssey came out and kept everyone even busier, and then all the games started coming out like mad. And Switch is like the most successful console they've done now, right? Yeah,
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Right up there with the Wii.
yeah. Woos. A lot, yeah.
Yeah.
But the Switch is such a great console.
It
I
is.
need to get more games for it. I'm just poor at the moment. But yeah, like one thing I want to find out from you as well, Rob. Who do you want to see? Like, do you want to see Ice Climbers back? Do you want to see Mega Man still in there? Obviously, I'm guessing you would. But do you?
Yeah.
What?
He is my main.
Yeah, who? My prediction for a third party would be Crash, because he's coming to Switch in Insane Trilogy. I think he might be in there. That'd be cool. But
Yeah. I can definitely see that. Possibly even Spyro.
the
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
I'm still... Yeah.
yeah,
A downloadable character.
possibly like they did with Cloud.
Yeah.
Also, I would
Just-
like Cloud to show up again, because he was incredibly fun to play as. Problem is, like, it's difficult because his stage Midgar was fun with all the summons in the back. Problem is there was only 2 songs because they didn't pay Nomura enough, I think.
Same with the Bayonetta stage, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, something like that. But I would like him to come back, one, because of how fun he was to play, but also they're basically doing a do-over for the Final Fantasy VII Remake, so it makes sense for him to come back almost exactly the same.
Yeah.
Because
I also think
God
that
forbid
it
we
would
see
be
Snake
a
again.
lot... Yeah, that would be awesome. It's not
It's
going to happen,
never gonna
but
happen.
it would be awesome. Yeah. That said, though, one thing I would like them to change, the clones,
Yeah,
like Mario and Dr. Mario, Lucina and Marth, Pit and Dark Pit, just
Costume.
make them one character.
yeah, just be costumes.
Like, just alternates. Like, heck, Olimar from Pikmin, he had Alf, I believe, as his alternate in Smash 4, so what's the deal with the others?
Yeah,
Like, why weren't they alts? Because they play almost exactly the same, like, with a very, very minimal tweaks here and there.
yeah. Like, because we've had too many clones at this point already, it's kind of tiresome. Although, the one thing I do want to find
Yeah.
out from you guys, I don't know if I asked you before, Tom, but I might have, but Pokemon. What Pokemon do you want to see, and who do you want out?
Greninja. Greninja
Greninja.
was in there. I remember him because he's another man of mine.
Yes, Mewtwo. Nerf Greninja.
Yeah.
But no, I think I don't.
No, he's been through enough.
Nah,
Let the poor boy rest.
thing is, you say let him rest. I think they are going to put him to rest because one, Sun and Moon, they've been out for a while. I think that they're going to show off anyone
Yeah.
it's going to be from Sun and Moon.
I wouldn't be surprised if they put Decidueye in, given...
Tapu go go, tapu go go.
I wouldn't be surprised if they put Decidueye in because of Rowlet's popularity.
Oh, I love Decidueye. Yeah, I wasn't initially sold on Rowlet to begin with. Everyone said he was really cute. I was always a Litten guy myself, but then
Oh.
yeah, I like his final form as well. Like, it was similar with Pokemon X actually. I was going to pick the Fire type because it's a law for me for every Pokemon game. Always pick the Fire type. However, I was different for this time. I saw Chestnut like in a leaked picture or something. I was like, I know who I'm picking, and I was like, go Team Chespin. I remember I made a vlog ages ago. Like, my room was very, very different. I didn't have any posters. My room was still blue, but since repainting and remodeling it. But I basically said, went off on a random vlog about how my reviews on the Pokemon movies 1, 2, and 3, and then I started talking about the games that are coming up, Pokemon X and Y, and then I said how ridiculous Chespin looked like, and then I ended up loving him because he destroys the fucking bug gym in the beginning because he has rollout.
Oh, nice. I didn't actually know about that.
Yeah, he gets rollout and he murdered everyone. He was like, if anyone's gonna have blood on his hands, it's probably Chespin.
Nice. Actually, two Pokemon that, now that I think about it, that would be perfect for Smash. One is Incineroar because he's literally a wrestler, and the other, this has kind of bugged me since I first got into the
I'd go
series,
for that.
Machamp. He's another Pokemon that would be perfect because he's literally a wrestler.
more so,
he even
like-
has a belt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would make sense. For me, I would like to see Ice Climbers back again because they were always fun.
Yeah,
And the
maybe
whole
they
thing
can.
about-
Maybe they can fix whatever problems they had this time.
I think it was just an excuse to get them out so they could have more third-party people in. To be honest with you.
Yeah. And, like, the thing is, they said that they couldn't get them to work on the 3DS, but here's the thing. The 3DS is roughly the same power as the GameCube, and Melee was on the GameCube,
Yeah,
so...
exactly. It just felt like a really bad excuse. Yeah, completely agree
Yeah.
with you on that one.
It's a little odd.
It's difficult to think with Smash because the hype that was behind 4 was so big. Like, I'm just curious to see what they're going to do now. Like, for all the character announcements, is it just going to be a ball of fire in each one? That I love the initial teaser. Like, considering how different it was to the Smash 4 initial trailer. Like, Smash 4 was like a nice little villager getting his wonderful letter to say, hey, come visit Smash and it'll be fun. In this one, Mario's going to crucify you in a ball of flame. Like, my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
but
Mega Man was sort of out for blood in Smash 4, though. Like, the first thing he does when he sees Mario is he throws a metal blade right at him.
way to fucking... Ugh, yeah, that terrifying face. Sakurai, I would like a Goku in Smash Brothers, thank you.
Oh my gosh.
And can I have Ridley?
Ridley's not gonna happen as a
No.
character, because,
Can't-
like, he's, Nintendo clearly does not have any interest in making him a character.
No.
They made him a stage hazard in the Smash
Which
Wii
is
U,
the
but...
best way they could have done it.
Yeah.
King K. Rool, I would like him in.
That'd be kind of cool, yeah.
Because, and also, question, because Ganondorf isn't really a thing in Breath of the Wild, what do you think they're going to do? Can we make him not a Captain Falcon clone, please?
Yeah, he really needs his own moveset.
Yeah, a new one. I'm trying to think of who else I'd particularly like. I think Crash is definitely gonna be there. Yeah. I also, it's difficult. It's really hard, but I think I suggested this to you, Tom. Like, it'll work with either Link or Zelda. But if Link is been given the Breath of the Wild treatment, I'd like to see the same for Zelda. But either one of them, I would love to see use the power ups you get. I'm being really dopey at the moment. Like the bombs, the ice, the runes. There you go. I'd love to see that implemented in some way. I'd love that.
Yeah, no weapon durability though, please.
Oh, God,
I
no.
really hate weapon durability.
That would be terrible.
Like, that's right up there with permadeath as one of the most obnoxious trends in gaming.
There's two things I would want. If we do get, if somehow we do get 2 Breath of the Wild stages, what I would like them to be is, you know how you'd get a random chance of, say in Mario Kart 8, when you did the Animal Crossing one, you'd get a chance of the 4 seasons? Well, there's 4 Divine Beasts. Each of them had particular gimmicks of how it changed around and stuff, or particular powers. Maybe you're riding on its back, or something like that, or you're inside. Something like that. I would be cool with that. Or maybe if you're on the back of the bird one, I can't remember its name, but there would be a chance where it flies you up and you have to fight in midair or something like that. That would be cool. There would be something interesting, but also one thing I would really like is one of the shrines, something to do with that. That would be amazing.
Oh, I just had an idea.
Go on.
Do you remember the Isle Delfino stage from Brawl, and how you would visit different areas with
Why
that?
Delfino?
Well, I'm just saying, remember how you went from different location, to another location in the map as the stage moved around?
Yeah.
What if they did something like that for Breath of the Wild? Like, you started out in the the plains, and then you moved on to the Zora Kingdom, and then you moved up into the sky with the bird beast, and it kept on shifting around to different locations. I think that'd be kind of cool.
That would be cool. The only thing, yeah, it would be, but it's just trying to think how would they get around. But again, it would probably just be a platform. Then thinking about it, or maybe it's just Hyrule Field and it's big old Ganon in the back.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
By the way,
and the Guardian comes in and kills everyone.
Yeah, by the way, a brand new decked out Hyrule Castle with Guardians in the back that sometimes aim for you. That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Talk about a fucking daunting.
Infrequently, though. It'd have to be infrequent.
Oh, God.
Otherwise, that would get really irritating.
Oh, yeah. Well, they weren't infrequent in the game. Yeah,
No, I'm just saying, as a stage hazard, though.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Because no one would play that otherwise.
No, hell no. Again, here's a question I never actually asked for the Smash Talk. Omega stages. I had to think about that for a second. Omega stages. Are they coming back, or do you think they'll be rescinded?
I play it flat without any sort of,
Yeah, but with the design, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, because Final Destination's great at first, but after you've played it a million times, you kind of get tired of it.
Yeah, I think they'll be back as well.
Yeah, I think they will be. Again, because I've played too much.
The only other character I'd personally like, I've said it before, I just want Simon Belmont, please.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, that's
Shantae?
Yes, I'd like to see Shantae. It would make sense considering half genie heroes.
Yeah.
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 But it's out on the Switch now, right?
Yeah.
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 But other than that, I think we're just going to be doing a repeat of the Smash video.
Pretty much, but
Oh, definitely. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Smash 5, but again, we already know like Inkling Girl and Boy are going to be in there, so
Yeah.
that'd be interesting. And that probably also confirms the Splatoon stage. So other than that, that's more or less all we can really say about the Smash for E3.
Yeah.
There is a few things I do want to cover real quick, like only because I didn't know where to put it. I did bring it up, like I think before we started. Bloodstained, Ritual of the Night. Wherever that shows up, I want to see more of it. I need it. I need that fucking game because I've been dying for a new kind of Castlevania stint, and it's been so long, and I'm never gonna get a proper Castlevania game ever again because Konami.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all you need to say, because Konami. But because of everyone who used to work on the games are working on this, and Robert Belgrade, however you pronounce it, who was Alucard, he's going to be doing voice work, which, God, yes, his voice is butter. But like, I just want that game. Like, I know they've done a lot of improvements. Like, one of the bosses, like early on, was a big boobed mermaid evil thing.
Yes.
But they've changed that a bit more, so it's a little less erotic violence. Take that, Konami.
Yeah, that was a little. Where did that come from?
Yeah, but they have changed it enough so it's a little less bad. So I just need it. Wherever it shows up, give me it, please.
Not to mention that it borrows the same kind of ability system that Arya and Dawn of Sorrow had, which
That
was the
was
soul system. Which
It was something I noticed because I watched Some Call Me Johnny actually do like his spotlight video, I think it was, where it acted almost exactly the same, and I was like, yes, good God.
Yeah, and like when it comes down to it, Aria of Sorrow is like right up there with Symphony of Night is one of the best games in the series. Like, both in terms of quality and just in terms of fan opinion, it's a really solid time.
Definitely. Although my favorite of the DS Castlevania games is Portrait of Ruin.
Yes, good sir.
I tip my hat to you.
Portrait of Ruin is amazing.
It's so good, and I hate
best one.
I hate that
my favorite.
I hate that mine broke.
Oh.
I just, that sound you made was just like your heart broke hearing it.
It's so good. That's my favorite of the DS trilogy.
It's so good, so good.
And the soundtrack is phenomenal. Absolute bliss.
Definitely, any Castlevania game, it's mwah, beautiful. Love it.
Yes. Fully agree. I completely agree.
Yeah. Other than that, do you guys have anything you want to talk about or anything you want from all of E3?
I mean, I could say Half-Life 3, but it wouldn't happen, so...
No, Half-Life 3 is... no, I'm afraid.
Half-Life
Portal
3
3 would be nice.
No.
No. Portal 3, that would be nice,
Very nice.
but...
we never brought
They
up
can't-
the Sonic racing game. Like, I hope they talk about that.
No, they won't.
Yeah.
Because they'd need Sega to do something, but I doubt... No, they don't. Not really.
Nah, I don't think they do.
They did here and there, but if anything, they're going to do maybe a live stream or something, because they're always announcing something. Yeah, like, I have to say, for the past 2 years, Nintendo have won it for me. But
Same.
for this year, for me, it's a bit of a tough call, because it was always Nintendo, Sony for me. For the past 2 years, like, and Xbox, well, Microsoft, they were always kind of, they're not last place, because that always goes to Ubisoft. But well, Ubisoft,
EA.
yeah, but Ubisoft did really well last year. Not gonna lie, but to be honest, it's a toughie. I don't think Microsoft's gonna come anywhere close for me personally. If something excites you for them, for you, good on you. I'm not going to take it away from you. Hell no. But
Definitely not.
for me, I'm probably going to watch all the conferences we've talked about. If I can't, I'm probably going to just flat out just sleep and miss something. although there is a kind of fun about watching it live. Yeah, although one thing I've started doing is moving the chat away to the side, because sometimes some people see it ahead of you and then they say, "Oh my god, this," and then you're like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah. Mute the chat.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Also, yeah, that's actually one thing I want to bring up, but I didn't want to do it in a live stream. If you're watching this and you've watched some of the live streams, or you come in to join for it, please, for the love of God, do not tell me how to play the game I'm playing. Fuck you. That's a dickheaded thing to do. But yeah,
it's your experience. You should be the one enjoying it and determining
also,
what you do when.
I've played these games a lot. Do not tell me how to do it. Don't even. But
that is why I'm kind of like, if I ever plan on doing any kind of blind playthrough on anything, I'm going to do what Ted did with his Castlevania Aria of Sorrow playthrough.
Oh, yeah.
You know, record it all and then upload it.
yeah, like that's also something Ryan from Brain Scratch is actually doing. Well, he did it for his Mario Odyssey run for Brain Scratch, which is interesting, actually.
Yeah.
And just like the guys who are watching, it's like, no, there's a moon right there, go back. Yeah, so
Yeah.
which is always funny. But other than that, I think we are done, guys. Yeah, it's almost as long as that. Yeah. Well, not 3.5, but somewhere around there. I think we might be going a little bit longer, actually. But I've got a few things to edit out, but we'll see. Yeah, because I think we just kind of run through the movie and our reaction to it, but this is, oh yeah, definitely. But anyway, that's our predictions and what we're expecting and what we want to see from this upcoming E3. I promise it will not be going. This video will be up before the day, not just the day before, like I did last year.
No,
sorry about that.
I will actually get my audio to him before
Yeah. Yeah, try and do it tomorrow or as soon as we stop. That would be that would be useful. Because last year,
Same here.
the last year I uploaded the PrE3 the day before, which was not good. But we're better with that now. So yeah, but we're better with that now. So anyway, before we wrap this up, Robert, our wonderful special guest, it was wonderful having you. Where can the lovely people find you?
I am actually starting up a Mega Man retrospective on YouTube. I haven't uploaded anything yet, but I am slowly but surely working on that, and my channel name is Robert's Ramblings, where I will most likely devolve into nothing but gushing about how much I love the classic series. Possibly some other series beyond that, though.
Awesome. Do you also have a Twitter?
I do, but I am currently getting a new one at the moment, so I might be changing a few things. I'm debating on whether or not I should do that. So
fair enough.
I will ultimately be going and like posting social media links and stuff once I actually start uploading stuff on YouTube, though. So that's where everything will be finalized.
Yeah. When you're ready, I'll eventually put that into the description below when you're ready for that. So when it is ready, you guys can all check that down there. I will also be linking Rob's YouTube channel in the bottom as well. As per usual, you can find our Twitter and Facebook pages in the description, as well as Tom's personal channel. I know Dan wasn't here, but I'm sure, because he doesn't really he doesn't care. He just likes to play video games, which is fair enough. Honestly, I want to do a better job, because the Final Thoughts reviews, I'm done with those. I want to do a better job with that. But anyway, that is PrE3. We will see you guys, and well, we will all be live tweeting the events of E3, I think. Okay, but this time I promise, when I'm gonna try and record all my reactions I will probably leave in. I'll try and do highlights of it, so because obviously there's going to be dead air points. But I promise that will actually go up. I will actually edit it instead of waiting a year after and putting it in a Smash Talk thing. So I promise I will do it this year. So I don't know if you guys want to do a post E3. If you guys want to, I'm up for it too. But if it's only if you guys want to. I'm sure the wonderful audience would like to see that at some point too. Maybe
we can get Dan in for this, because like I imagine he'll be able to...
Yeah. Then yeah, that'd be great. So that is our PrE3. I want to thank Rob for joining in again. I
want to thank you for letting me join.
No problem. I'm sure we'll. If you need anything, like I'm sure we'll help you out. If you want to do something about a retrospective, that I'd love to join you, because this has been a wonderful talk. Because we've talked on Twitter here and there, but this is kind of our first like real hearing each other, so it's been interesting.
Yeah.
I'm
okay.
I'm up for that. I'm up for that as well. Like.
Yeah.
Thank you. You seem like cool guys as well.
Woo! But yes, I hope you guys enjoy this. I'm going to get this out as soon as possible. But, oh yeah, happy royal wedding to Meghan and Harry. Whoop-de-doo. Yeah. I didn't, because I don't care. But anyway, let's end this here, because it's already gone long enough. So we will see you guys on the flip side for post E3.
Have a good day.